Hey y'all, welcome in. I know it's a little bit jarring. I'm giving all types of spooky vibes, but we are traveling, we are on the move, and I still here, but it's just a little bit different. All right, let's get ready to get started. I want to make sure that y'all can hear me good because it didn't seem like it was playing the episode audio. Ciao. Mm-mm-mm. Mr. Corey Cash strikes again, honey. Welcome in everybody for another Reasonable Doubt live stream. This will be a breakdown for season 2, episode number 7. Drop your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. How you feeling about this episode? What was going on? And all of that jazz. So we can go ahead and jump into it. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Hey Brittany, welcome in, boo. Okay. So audio levels are great. Perfect. Um, I feel kind of annoyed right now, y'all, because I'm so tired between traveling and all of the things that I got going on. I am a little bit tired, but I still got hella smoke for Lewis's old loser ass, and I don't want to spare any venom, any smoke that this man rightfully deserves. So I am trying to make sure that I cultivate every last ounce of smoke that I could possibly muster, even though my energy levels are feeling a little bit low, because this man deserves getting his ass whooped. If you were a Lewis loser before, I hope that your ass jumped ship by now. Episode 7 is where you draw the line. Episode 7 is where you give up. Episode 7 is where you about face. Episode 7 is where you wake up. Because Lewis is not it. He was never going to be it. And is never going to be it. With his weak... Oh, I gotta be careful. I did my breakdown already, y'all. I just gotta edit it and put it up. And it's low. It's just so much. It's just so much profanity. Because that man just made me so mad. Y'all, I literally cried watching this episode. I felt so bad for Jax in this episode. I was sitting there crying crocodile ass tears with her. I was stressed with her. With her holding all of the feelings that she was experiencing. Oh my goodness. This episode was triggering. Hey, Candy loves to talk TV. How are you, boo? Hey, Robin. Welcome in, honey. Hey, Allie. Allie, hopefully everything is all good for you and everybody else in Florida, child. That damn hurricane coming through, messing things up. I said a prayer for you earlier. Hey, Natoya. How are you, honey? Robin gave it a 7. Brittany Joy gave it an 8. Natoya gave it a 7. Allie said it's a 10, straight 10. Jackson's opening dialogue for the episode deserves standing ovation. Standing ovation. Lies. Lies. More lies. Period. Period. Oh, it's the menacing light that I got going on. Oof. Oh no, Candy, you in South Carolina with no power? We saying prayers for your power to be restored, but most of all for you to remain safe. Okay, we want everybody safe. Brittany Joy is delivering fists to both Lewis's eyes. Yeah, yeah, and that's just the beginning. Come outside because we are going to jump you. And I hate it. I hate that we're about to watch Jax take this man back. And I guess we're gonna have to unpack this on this live. But this episode is triggering. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that for this moment because I think triggering is the most accurate way that I can describe my feelings for it and my visceral thoughts right now. This is what, I'm gonna wait. Did everybody put their ratings in on a scale of 1 to 10? What they rate in the episode? Lordy. It's these men. This is what we got to be careful of. No internet with the power still on. Oh no. Yeah. Well, at least that. Hopefully everything that y'all lose get restored very quickly and everybody stays safe. Brittany Joy says, I never wanted to fight a therapist so bad in my life either. Oh, you got smoke for the therapist? I ain't got no problem. Well, the therapist. Well, I was really focused on what he was saying to Jax, and I appreciated everything that he said to Jax. And then Lewis is just so full of shit. Like, he is quite literally the epitome of what we gotta look out for. Any well-to-do woman, this is what you gotta look out for. Little bummy ass niggas who want to wife you up, but are clowns. Clowns. Lewis was freaking applying outside of his pay grade. He is not qualified to be the husband of a Jax Stewart, and yet and still his ass hit the lottery, and now he want to mope and whine and complain about it. Last season, we was kind of on Jax's neck. We was kind of like, Jax, girl, what the hell you got going on? Because it's a lot. It's a little complicated. But this season told me all that I needed to know, and Lewis is unqualified to actually be a husband to Jax Stewart. He is a mediocre man who went out and found an exceptional ass woman, but then expects this exceptional ass woman to dial back all of her excellence so that he can still feel like the big mighty ass man and not the mediocre ass man that he is. Why can't we just date people on our level? Why can't you find somebody who is at your same ambition level? Why can't you find somebody that's at your weak ass presentation level? Why can't you find somebody who is okay and thinks that the world, the sun, all of that rises and sets on your? It's because there's levels to these hoes out here. There's levels to bitches. Why go get an expert level bitch when you are a mediocre / easy novice level nigga and you don't ever plan to evolve? Who told you to do that, Lewis? Nobody. And yet and still here your goofy ass is fumbling your blessings. And then trying to blame it on her. Child. I want Lewis off this goddamn show immediately. I want him out. Immediately. Hey, Tassie, welcome in, boo. What you giving this rating for this episode? Candy, what you rating this episode? Oh, you gave it a solid 8. I see it now. Robin says yes. He still blames her and still not taking full responsibility. When I tell you I am now retroactively going back and removing any accountability I placed at Jax's feet, because that man should have never made it down the aisle with her. The flashbacks told me everything I needed to know. And it really just affirmed what my gut told me from the beginning. But I be trying to give these niggas the benefit of the doubt. And this is what happened when you give niggas the benefit of the doubt. Y'all, are we starting with Lewis? Nothing, but I just, all I can do is cuss Lewis out. So, I mean, we can start there, but it's going to start hella elevated. Like, Atazi says 10. The acting was amazing. Baby, I need Emmys. I need Emmys to be in conversation with this series next season. Next Emmy season, I need this series to be in the Emmy conversation, because the way big ass crocodile tears was welling up in my goddamn eyes and then proceeded to trail down slow-mo style as if Lil Saint just died. They doing something real special. They doing something real special this season, and it's wild, wildly amazing, but it's still wild. All right, let me actually open up the Discord, because I feel like we definitely gonna need to have conversations in this. I'm hot, y'all, and y'all know I have never liked Lewis. And I just keep getting reason after reason after reason to co-sign my dislike for this whack ass nigga. Where we starting at, y'all? We could start here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could definitely start here. I'm just saying. Robert says, Erica, here you go with the flashbacks. We know you want to start with Damon. Damon. Listen, I don't even have nothing to do with the show. They keep putting him on screen. They keep putting Damon's ass up there. And they about to make me go back and rewatch season 1, because yes, Damon turned out to be a little demon, just a little tad bit of a demon. But that man also was not requiring Jax to play small, to be around him, to be in romantic relation with him, to have adoration from him. Like, it's one of the worst things for me. Like, this thing immediately triggers me, immediately turns me off, immediately pushes me into a combative space. When a man wants a woman to dial down any part of herself to exist in his presence, I'm immediately ready to go to war. Immediately, like, what the do you mean? Immediately, like, no, nigga, you move. You go find somewhere regular to be. You go find somebody mediocre to talk to. You go find some weak ass hoe, because I ain't gonna be able to do it. I can't make it enough. So Lewis already lost me. With the punishing of Jax for being excellent. With the requiring of her to dim her light for him to feel better about himself. Sir, excuse me? Go to hell, nigga. Go to hell. Last time I checked, Damon ain't do that. I'm just saying. Last time I checked, he ain't do that. Are we gonna start with the flashback? I don't even know where to begin in this breakdown, in this conversation. Where do y'all want to start with this episode? Itasi says, I don't see chemistry here though. I see horniness and lust. I don't know. It's so complicated. So the Corey and Jax thing is very complicated. And this timing sucks. And this timing speaks exactly to what a lot of y'all were saying last week when we were really talking about this, of like, you would want her to go here, but not encumbered by all her feelings, the ill doing and the betrayal, the lies from Lewis pushing her to do it, but like her to go to this place and to do this because she actually wants to do it and is not driven by like revenge and all of that. I don't feel like this is simply lust, but it is complicated, and it is not 100% pure, just her attraction to this man. Brittany said, at this point, Jax deserves, because sis is going through it. If anything, Jax deserves Corey Cash in this moment. She deserves. Give sis what she deserves, because she's earned it. But It's the flashbacks. Once the Damon flashback happened, I said, okay, Jax, don't do it. Don't do it. If you seeing Damon and your weak ass husband, this is not the time to smash this man. We're gonna have to revisit this at another time, honey. We're gonna have to revisit this. This is not gonna work out well for you. Let me get my headphones. Hold on one second. It's like I'm about to break these. Hey, Brittany, welcome in.
Hey, Erica girl. Hey.
Oh, why is it on my? Hold on one second. Let me switch because it's on my other headphones. Let me turn these off. Okay, I think it should be good now. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
Uh-oh. Is my thing connected to what about now?
Okay, I should be good now. You there, Brittany?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
How you doing, girl? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm tired, and then Reasonable Doubt decided that they was gonna give me an emotional, laborious episode to consume, so I'm even more exhausted. How are you?
I went on a drive and had to like run some stuff over because of Lewis today. I just but I'm doing all right. I was like, let me just hit all the dead leaves and everything and the trash that he deserves to be in. Because why? Why are we here? And then the flashbacks, when they started, I was like, don't even start trying to build empathy for him because he deserves none. He deserves absolutely nothing. Just throw him away.
The flashbacks gave me nothing to give. I said, I don't give a good goddamn, and your haircut is terrible.
It was so hard to watch how you can see she from the very jump was, I'm going to try to put my all into this relationship. I'm going to try to build my man up. I'm going to try to be there for him, stand up for him, help him with stuff. And every single time it goes back to like some of the other shows you reviewed, the men and their jealousy of their actual partners is like, yo,
It's
what
so
is this?
wild. It's so wild to see. It's so wild. And then they perform like this is normal and everybody else is wrong. And he can't, like, not only do we watch you be mediocre as fuck, but we watch her shift at the very beginning and like concede. Like it's all over her, the concession. But then now we are however many years later, 15 years later, and you sitting your goofy ass up in the therapy chair talking about something. You tired? You're tired of doing what? Exactly. You the only one who been trying. She's had to have a mask in her relationship with you because you are weak as. Are you kidding me right now?
But Erica, he's a father. He is a father.
The one thing that you can cling to because it requires the least of you, and that's the only thing that you can actually find excellence in.
The entirety of Lewis's existence, I could have done without this episode. And you know it's bad when you are looking at your husband and you are seeing your supposed kidnapper and all of these other things pop up when she's dreaming and when she's going back and having flashbacks of other stuff. Because every time she pops up with him, it's like you can see the emotional turmoil this woman has carried for 15 plus years. And for what exactly? For what
What?
is my question.
For what?
I
For
type of don't
who?
know.
Like all of it. All of it.
I just
People were giving Jax the blues in season 1. And I understood it because it's like, girl, you doing a hell of a lot. But now, when we get further context on what her backstory is and all that she's had to deal with, I don't think she did enough. I needed her to crash out even harder because everybody keeps playing with her. Her mama will keep playing with her. Her husband keep playing with her. Past loves from from her defense attorney days want to play with her. Everybody playing with Jax. What do black women have on our foreheads that says, come play with us? It is a fun house here.
And then when she acts out, they try to say, "Oh, why are you acting like this?" And that's one thing about being a black woman in this world, they will gaslight the hell out of you. And when you finally respond, when they finally manipulate you to a place to respond, "Oh, why are you so angry? Why are you so distant? Why are you so guarded? Why are you all these things?" And we're watching this woman in live time. When she said to the therapist, "I can compartmentalize well, but this I just could not get off my mind." The whole revenge side baby, tit for tat. I'm like, this man has been going tit for tat with this woman for the entirety of his relationship. It didn't just start because she was excelling in her career. It started because he was mad he failed at his little presentation and he's in the same position he's been in forever. And what the hell is going on with that fake broke hand? How long has he had this hand now that we can't get this funny little cat? I'm sorry. Baby steps, taking it back. I'm over him and I'm over his foolishness. And I'm also over how you can really see she's struggling with her own identity and how she moves forward with being who she was and who she is. Because from every side, from her friend calling her out as not liking women, from the husband being the husband, all of these ways, it's just like, Jesus, she deserves somebody to just and I'll say it this way. I'm gonna behave. But Corey looks like he aims to please. He doesn't look like a
Mm-hmm.
selfish lover. So she deserves, even though this is gonna be the worst time, because she did have flashbacks to all the amazing people that she had amazing times with in these similar situations. I think that was the trigger for her to realize, like, oh, my fallback is to get involved with more complicated situations. But I just feel like somebody, if it's not Corey, somebody is going to give her some satisfaction because she is struggling. She is in a dire strait when it comes to the people that are in her life. And when her therapist was like, "You've never experienced love," I was like, "Yeah, but now you are sitting here with somebody you know she shouldn't be with." And I know therapists can't be like, "Oh, you should leave them." But I really want the therapist to be like, "Y'all part ways. I didn't ask you this 3 times now. Let's talk about uncoupling. Please and thank you."
Yeah, and I think for me, the flashbacks in this moment took me to a place of, okay, she can't go here because yes, she deserves the sexual satisfaction, but that has never been Jax's problem. Jax does not have a problem getting satisfied sexually. Jax has a problem being met equally and unconditionally within her relationships and life. So I appreciated her pulling back and not going there because her fix for a lot of times when she's in emotional turmoil or dismay or she's feeling lost or whatever is to go to a sexual relationship, a sexual place with whoever. Even while she was estranged with Lewis, they had the moment in the car and that became like a little power thing, and he decided to finger her up until a point and then send her ass home and tip the scales back in his, in his favor. So I think this is for her realizing that this isn't going to solve anything. I need to actually solve this issue. What does that actually look like? Hey, Allie.
Hey, love. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, I guess. Um, yes, I agree with everything that you said concerning that particular part about Jax and Corey. Even though it was lovely to see, I was so happy when she stopped it from happening, especially with the flashbacks. Um, in the conversation that her and Lewis had about like going tit for tat, because it seems like that has been the nature of their relationship for so long. And even in the midst of her pain and her hurt, she still made a conscious decision to do what felt right to her in the moment, like to not go back to old habits. And for me, this episode, triggering was the word that you used in the beginning. And I think that's the best word to describe how I felt watching it. It was triggering, and it was also just another example or display just how strong Black women have to be. And it was so many instances in this episode that Jax had to deny how she felt in the moment to put on a face for everyone else. I didn't cry, but I definitely, had tears welling up in my eyes when it was revealed that the baby was Lewis's, and it was right before they were about to eat as a family, and she had to sit there and put on a face in front of her children. And I was just thinking, like, how many times I've had conversations with my mother when, being a kid, you don't know what's going on, but not knowing that she had to fight back, tears and make it appear that everything was okay, which she wasn't okay. And the character of Jax just, in my eyes, like, I didn't look down on her or anything, but she just really stood up in so many ways today. And my heart really just broke for the character.
Yeah.
Like, it really did. Like, she was so strong. The fact that you have to be so strong when you're broken.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna hold you.
It was
Like, I
something.
am tearing up right now. Even just thinking about it, and it probably is tied to like where I am currently. Like, I feel like currently I am shelving feelings that I have to create space for my parents, do certain things that they're going through right now. And this was just such a visible and visceral reminder of how like automatic it is. Like, I feel like we've been programmed to immediately go to that place. There was no negotiation. There was no like struggle. She immediately switched to swallowing any and everything that she was thinking and feeling so that she could put forth a safe, a fine, a like mass front for everybody else around her. And then she has to sit in a damn therapy chair and discuss how she technically doesn't ever believe in unconditional love because she never experienced it, but she still has like, this is our way of giving it. This, it's like, oh.
Allie, you brought up something I forgot all about. The fact that he dropped that bomb on her, knowing it was about to be dinner time, was another B move for him. I was like, yo, punk ass just can't get right. And I don't understand why he makes sure the kids aren't there for everything else, but he felt like this is the perfect time for me to let you know, by the way, I got a little revenge side baby coming, and you want some beef and cheese on your tacos, or we gonna sit here and put salsa and guac? Like, what are we doing today? Yeah, this was really rough, especially watching and seeing how so much of her childhood is like, despite all of her best efforts, you can see it on her face almost like, how did I end up here? And I'm doing all the work. Once again, I'm doing all the heavy lifting and all the work to right my wrongs, going to therapy and this and the other. I did appreciate when the therapist checked them. It was like, but you wouldn't even be in couples therapy if it wasn't for Jax. But to see
Hello.
it and to see him pull that BS and with the kid, I was like, get you and your kids. And when he was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go. You think I was like, yes, Jax. You think I think care? Nobody cares anymore, Lewis, because you did this. You made these decisions, and she's done swallowing the issues as a result of your decisions. But to
But then
just
the
see it,
craziest part of it though is that even how she responds, like, there's a certain level of policing that she's internalized now, and she still responded very tamely. She kind of communicated what she felt. She kind of delivered, like, we get to see as the episode progresses, she, is fighting the duality of like wanting to check on him and actually missing him, but still being mad at him. But even from what we saw in reference to her reaction, it was nothing out of the way. It was nothing overly crazy. So she don't even get to take it to the nth degree of where she actually wants to take it, because she's already been conditioned within this relationship to be regarded as domineering, overly ambitious. What do you call her? Everything don't have to be too hard.
Fist to the eyes for both eyes. Fist to both eyes and chin and front teeth. Because I'm wondering if she's starting to get to that place of disassociation and being numb to it all. And that's also a dangerous place because she did everything. She's doing everything. And it's like, if I'm doing everything and the stuff just keeps piling up and it's not going my way, we getting ready to see. I hate to say it, but they better hope that the money she's paying this therapist actually pays off, because this scene right here, she looks like she's about to snap into demon time, and this could be the origin of a villain story. And I don't want that for her either, but also it would be justified.
100%. Like 100%. The audacity and just the expectation that she's supposed to just eat it all, carry it all, don't have no issues, don't have no qualms. Like, I could not believe how smugly he sat on that damn therapy couch talking about how he's tired. Tired of what exactly, Lewis? I'm sorry, go ahead, Ellie.
No, that was my question. Like, when, because I watched this episode like 3 times today. It right. I was like, this was like my favorite episode of the season. And I asked that question, what exactly are you tired of? And it makes me go back, and I know we talked about this in on previous lives, but I don't think there, other than Zach from Sisters, I don't think there has been a male character that I have truly disliked so strongly. When this man talked about how tired he was, when he felt as if um, Jax was not trying, all I could say was the audacity of you. When we have been seeing this woman trying since the opening of this season, her asking you specific questions and you blatantly lie to her face. And it really went to show how people can believe they communicate well, but it's not effective. Because his whole thing was, I don't feel like I had to say anything if the baby wasn't mine.
Which
And it's like you're
also turned out to
completely
be a
missing the
lie,
point.
though, Allie. That also turned out to be a
Like,
lie, because you're telling the therapist, oh, I thought I was being kind, because if it's not then I don't need to let her know. But then you go tell a homeboy that's on the couch across from you because his wife is tripping. So don't think that y'all are in the same boat, because he's standing on business because his wife is a dummy. You are the dummy in this situation, but I digress. You tell him you didn't want to have to hear it until you had to hear it. That's the tea. That's what it is right there. That's where the lies came from. You were never thinking about her. You were always thinking about you. So when you stand your goofy ass up across from her at the end of the goddamn night talking about, I live to love you, how? And clearly you haven't thought about trying to do that accurately, adequately, because living to love me, existing to love me will look like you actually considering me and not worrying about how annoyed you're going to feel for having to hear some shit about you having a revenge break baby with the hoe from down the streets. I'm sorry, Ellie. Go ahead. This man going,
no,
ooh.
no, trust me. I understand. I understand and I feel you because I was like, Lewis, everything that you're saying is straight BS at this moment. It's straight BS because it all goes back to a point that I have just been really standing on. I believe wholeheartedly that Lewis has been punishing Jax this entire time, and it's the fact that she asked him. I think it was the second episode of this season, the first or second. And my thing is, when we have that intuition, we have that gut feeling. Almost 99.9% of the time, we're correct. So one, you are attempting to punish her, and two, before we even got to the baby possibly being yours, she asked you, was it anyone that I know? That's where we started. And that was the lie. And you lied because you wanted her to give you some head. You were that deprived that oh no. And then you continue to lie. And it's like at this point, the fact that you don't even, the fact that we didn't even see Lewis come to the place of, of recognizing himself as being dishonest, being disloyal, and telling her untruths. But you could go out and try to pinpoint, I had to deal with your affair. I had to deal with you calling out this other brother name. I'm like, you know what? That is such a man move. That is such a man move. But that's not what we're here for. I had to deal with her. What he said, her trauma. I said, nah. Hold on now.
Child,
Allie,
when
Allie, I
she
gotta get this off
child,
the screen. I gotta get this off the screen because he had our good sis looking like this the whole fucking episode. My heart broke for Jax this episode. Sis was down for the count this episode, and that's what that nigga sitting up there talking about. You had to deal with her trauma. I'm sorry. Who told you to fall in love with a woman who was molested by her goddamn stepdaddy? Did she tell you to do that? Who told you to go find a woman that you were just so magnetically attracted to and is on the up and up and on the ambitious come up within her career? Meanwhile, you know that your ass is mediocre and you ain't never gonna be nothing more than mediocre. Who told you to do that? Who the hell decides that it's okay for you to be tired for punching outside of your goddamn pay grade, your weight class, if you will? You could have just went to go get the Tony well before you met the Jax. Nobody asked you to go find Jax. And that's my issue with niggas. Y'all really got to do a better job of vetting yourself. Because you want to go out here and you want to get the baddie, you want to get with the job and with the this and with the that and all of the things. But then you are unable to actually maintain the relationship and what comes with that. He talking about, I'm sorry you can't brag about me the way that I brag about you. Yeah, you are sorry. A sorry sack of shit because of it. I'm sorry, y'all.
child. And when he was just, I'm sweating now. I'm like, I forgot how much this episode really did because I watched it earlier today. And listening to how he tried to spin everything, I was like, this is what we mean when we say we better off by ourselves. Because instead of holding yourself accountable, instead of saying, you know what, you're right, I was wrong, I shouldn't have did this, I didn't realize this was going to be what it was for you. You can't throw stuff back in people's face. I said, I wrote it down. I said, he had all the audacity and the quick answers real fast once he got caught. But when he was trying to figure out when it was going to be the best time, he couldn't answer nothing. But he had 4 times. We didn't use a condom this time. Oh yeah, no, wait, you have all the answers now and it's still somehow her fault because she made you feel like the actual man you are, which is trash. I don't understand how that's her fault. And she stuck by you through something. Like, let's not forget, y'all were in that situation, y'all were separated because of some BS you tried to pull on her. And I feel like he does a good job of playing the kind, nice, quiet, unsuspecting, nerdy. I'm really not a playboy. What did he say? I'm really not that. Like, sir, just because you don't walk around with your pants by your knees doesn't mean you're not a trifling individual. And if you can justify your triflingness because it makes you feel good, you get everybody on your side playing the sympathy card. You can't play the sympathy card with the person you're BSing. Like, she's clocked you. She knows you. She clocked you from the moment you walked in the house. And we've been in this situation now more than once, not just with a baby mama or whatever the case may be, but it always gets to this point. It comes to this head and you didn't try to manipulate your way. And at this point, you pulled the trump card. Like, I don't think she's the type that's going to be like, oh, let me parent your love child with the woman. Like she said, we had baby parties and everything else with this person. Like, he really was so disappointing. And I wasn't like, I hate him in the beginning of the beginning of the show. I didn't hate him because, again, I didn't understand. But seeing the flashbacks just made me really want to be like, so when we rolling up, who's driving the van? We gonna meet him at noon or dawn? Like what's happening?
When I tell
Because
y'all, nothing is gonna be able to shake me from my intuition. When I tell you, I am going to be so steeped in whatever the hell I think and feel, that's what I'm going with. I don't give a damn if there's no proof. The showrunners is going to give me proof 2 seasons from now. When I say trust me, y'all, trust me, because I knew that Lewis's ass wasn't it. I knew it. The whole, oh, she's just too concerned with work and she doesn't have enough time for me. Telltale sign. Orange flag at best, red flag at worst. Because now we get to see she working on whatever little brief as a boss and a partner at her law firm with the white people. And you say, I need a second. You know what, baby? You got it. Not only do you got it, I don't turn around and still be typing and doing what I could do because I can multitask. I get my ass up, come and sit and give you my full undivided attention. And now you're pissed that I'm giving you my full undivided attention because your presentation is weak as fuck.
That whole
Girl,
scene made me mad too, because she was so proud that she was going to be able to like do something in his world and be there. And before she even got 3 words out, he was in his feelings and throwing a temper tantrum. Like, do better, Lewis. I don't think he can,
I
but
don't think he can either.
yeah,
What you about to say,
he
Allie?
can't like a straight kid. Yeah, I felt the same way Brittany did, and exactly what you said. The fact that she's a partner, she's working on her work, she gets up, sits down, gives you her undivided attention, and even when he was speaking before Jax even said the her line, I was like, he don't sound very confident. Like he sound like one of them
Oh,
students you doing a presentation with, and you pray to hurry up because he's not really doing well. I'm like, yeah, he don't sound too confident. So when she said that, I'm like, all right, we on the same page. And it was as if he was offended. Like, give me an applause, even if I don't deserve one. And it's like that's how he has been moving throughout this marriage. Give me an applause, even though I don't deserve it. Feed my ego, even though I don't deserve it.
that is literally
Like,
his
boy,
personality. That is his person. You said it perfectly. That is his personality. Give me kudos for doing what I am legally responsible for doing since I made all these hellion children. Give me kudos for being in the house and being playing the role because I work from home. Yes, I can pick up my kids and do all these things, but I'm supposed to be celebrated for doing the bare effing minimum of being a freaking parent, of being a partner in a relationship. Like you don't get to celebrate the fact that you spread sperm everywhere and you made these children. Like, we not gonna give you a gold star for being the parent you promised to be when you married this woman. When you took her away from the life she was preparing to live, you pushed yourself in. Because the whole like how they met, I was like, oh, that was backstory I didn't mean. Now I hate him even more because you could have left her alone if you weren't ready.
you could have left her alone. This little moment, this little scene with the whole, oh, listen to my presentation. Let me run my presentation by you, babe. This told me everything I needed to know because the Jack that we meet in season 1 has already done this rodeo 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 times, and she's already checked out. So don't ask me to help you with anything because your ass don't listen and your ass is not ready. I'm going to continue to excel and you're going to still be butthurt about it. And now this is one other thing that I got to figure out how to navigate because my husband is emotionally stunted and insecure. Great. It was never, her job was never the problem. Her commitment to her job was never the problem. Her lack of time at the home was never the problem. You had problems with her from the very jump, Lewis. And the problem is that you want to be who the hell she actually is without doing any of the work to be that person. Tragic.
You mean him having a penis doesn't automatically qualify him for being at the same level as Jax? Erica? I'm being facetious. I couldn't even get that out. You, you mean he didn't think that just because he was a man, it was just gonna automatically be a thing? I'm so over him.
And then when
Just
you
put
give
the
her
whole
attitude about it, she got to get up and smile and say, you know what? Okay, my bad. You're right. Walk away. No, you should have caught hell then
Right.
with your Gumby ass haircut.
When Lewis said in the therapy session, I'm the reason we're married, I said, well, leave her. You act as if you are doing a service to great humanity by being married to Jax. Leave her alone. Divorce her.
Please, immediately.
I'm the reason we're married. I said this egotistical. I don't. I will say I never liked Lewis, but this was the first time I was just like, this man's ego is worse than I ever thought. Worse than I ever thought. I'm the reason we're married in the first place. Um, that can be changed quickly.
Hello.
She's already a lawyer.
We can go ahead and alleviate that. Y'all, I want to go here because I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is that these shows got going on, but everybody's trying to push this polyamorous, open, sex cult ass storyline, and I do not understand it. You mean to tell me we need to go to a sex club that JT suggested to you when I have a 3-year-old and a newborn and I am pumping and briefing and you want to have sex? So now we need to go to a sex club because I am not actually feeling it. I'm exhausted and doing 16 other things. Was I the only one who was offended?
I was offended. I was angry. I was perturbed. This woman is sitting up here pumping and is tired. And the fact when he said the line, JT told me about this sex club, when the fire has died down. And when the fire has died, the fire ain't went nowhere. She's tired. She just gave birth to 2 of your kids within what, 3 years? She's tired. And she's a partner. You're insinuating that your wife no longer has a desire to have sex with you. I said, this bastard is selfish as hell. That took me over. That took me over.
And it's so clear to me, and maybe I'm just giving Jax a little bit too much, but right now this thing will never be enough for me to give her. For me, looking at this visually, she's still in the phase of submission. She's still in the phase of conceding to her man. I believe she went there because she wanted to go there. I think she went there because he said it, and I'm like, all right, well, So Lewis, this little propaganda that you have been pushing about Jax being the leader and nothing happens that Jax don't want to have happen and da 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 da, we've seen proof that is a lie. You had time and you fumbled every last bit of the damn time. You were too focused on your goofy ass self and creating your fake ass, goofy ass narrative of, oh, I'm just such a great father, because to you, I guess, being a great father is enough to make you a great person. And I would go ahead and say, survey says that shit is a lie too.
And to that point as well, that was another red flag because all the people he gets his advice from are trash people. So we don't know all the things about JT at this point in this point of the episode, but when you think about how much has always been centered around what he needs to feel like he's appreciated in the marriage, it was never Jax's problem, and she was never gonna appease his ego because he's like a big toddler. He wants what he wants, and it has to fit his image. And anything else, I'm a do passive aggressive trash BS type stuff and make you feel like, oh, you are not cutting it for me because you're cleared to have sex. But the lady she was literally pumping. She said, I feel like I'm being milked like a cow. And your answer was, let other people fill up on my wife. And then you wonder how y'all always have issues and it becomes sexual in nature that somebody steps out or somebody does this. That should have been a sign to her too, that she really wasn't with this man like that for real. I mean, even with the pregnancy and the postpartum and all that stuff, like, for her to be the type of person she is and how she can look at somebody and go into a fantasy land, I wonder if that came because of how much stuff he exposed her to.
That's what I believe. Because when they showed that moment, I said, it's so interesting how he's the person that introduced this lifestyle to Jax. and now it's something that you throw up in her face. When this was something that you introduced her to, you welcomed her into that world. And then my thing is, even in that moment, I don't believe that that was Lewis's first time going, if you ask me, because he was a little too eager to
Oh,
let his wife go with that dude. Like most men would have been like, nah, yeah, this is my wife, but no, we're good. We're just, we're good. He was just, he did it too easily for me.
Mm-hmm.
and
I
even
was like,
even with
nah,
his whole, I'm sorry, Allie, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no, no, no,
but
no, no,
even
I'm
with
good. I was good.
even with the whole like this isn't the first time I've watched you. He has a voyeur kink, not to kink shame anybody or whatever, but from what it seems, it's like he gets joy out of even his face right there. He was having too much fun watching it, and it didn't seem like it was, oh, this is for me to help you get your thing back. It was for him to get himself off. And
Yep.
that's what agitates me about him so much is how like he's like men that you can tell their mothers made them trifling.
Mm.
Mm,
And so because my mom always, bend over backwards because I see it a lot in a lot of families. I used to be a school teacher, so you would see a lot. The moms would come in and the boys could do no wrong, but the girls would get their tails kicked in the bathroom. Like you can see he's the type of man that women coddled him his entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and he got away with throwing temper tantrums to get like he's mastered manipulation in that way. And I really, really, really hate this for her because she seems like the type that her vows meant something and she wanted to make it work. But she was dealing with somebody with some undercover things he wasn't being honest with himself about. Which again, marry somebody like that. Marry somebody that's into what you're into. Don't try to tame somebody else into something that you want or mold somebody into something else. But watching that whole interaction and how he even tried to manipulate the situation where the guy was like, oh, are y'all trying to stay together and couple? Well, I'm fighting for my marriage. No, you're not. You're fighting for the idea that you can't be the one out of your friends, the only one out of your friends without a problematic marriage. Because JT's dead and was divorcing. The slumber party bros, they both got issues in their marriage. Do you have any friends that are representing good husbands? Because it looks like you're batting 0 for 0 at this point.
Mm.
mm.
That's a word. That is a word.
That was a word.
Heavy on the women in his life ruined him. And I don't even need the
But then it's
backstory.
interesting.
Go ahead, Ellie.
No, I'm saying, but then it's interesting because his brother doesn't put me in the mind of like it's like they're very vastly different. And I know you could be raised in the same household and be vastly different. So it's like what has been Lewis's experiences with women that has caused him to remain this way?
But you
Is
also got
there
to
a
remember,
specific
isn't
woman that
Lewis's brother gay?
his brother is gay? Yeah, his
So
brother is
that
gay.
already changes
Yeah,
things because yes, you can have
yeah,
problematic
that's different.
gays that still lean into misogyny, but for the most part, a lot of gay men will identify with women in a very different way than heterosexual men do.
That's true.
And if he's
And is
so hell
Luke
bent
a
on
baby?
maintaining this image and this idea of masculinity and fatherhood, then he's more so focused on that versus actually seeing himself versus his brother who's had to go through and persevere through ostracization that comes with being queer in this country, right? He's had to see himself and confront certain things and then kind of like fight to be who he actually wants to be. He don't get to just walk into who he says he is. It's almost like, queer men have to prove themselves in a way that heterosexual men don't.
Agreed. And is he
That's
the
true. That's true.
I don't remember. Is Lewis the baby or is he the oldest? Because
I feel
even
like
that
he the
dichotomy.
oldest. Even
So
though the
being
Yeah, I
that
brother
think
brother,
he's the
seems
oldest.
like the brother is more mature, but I feel like the brother is only more mature because he's queer.
because he's had to go through the actual adversity of
Hmm.
finding your place and really proving. Whereas Lewis, like I said, he seems to think just because he's a man, he can
And
just walk
six
into
foot
stuff.
and darker skin, like because he gives prototypical basketball steez, he's been able to skate his goofy ass through life thinking he's something and he ain't
Hadn't had to prove much of anything, and you get to play video games. I mean, not to discredit any gamers in the world and all the things, but it's like, sir, you've created this image. But yeah, no, I feel like he gives like I was the favorite in the family, especially if you think about the generation that their parents would be. Your brother being queer would get all the
Right.
heat, all the smoke. So you got to pretty much skate just by being the bare minimum. Oh, I hate this for Jack so much. Okay, Corey in that blue suit. Thank you. Amen. I'm sorry. I'm not to move from Lewis, but I need to see it. That's not gonna make me kick somebody in the
Oh
teeth.
my
Oh my god.
gosh. That's hilarious, Brittany. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Allie, I don't know what I'm supposed to do if they keep giving me visuals of Damon. Like, I'm just very confused.
Confused about what?
How am I supposed to get past it and like let it go when they keep giving me visuals? I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
know because
Allie.
I was about to start typing and I took it away. I said I'm gonna say it when I get on here because you talking about some Damon, he was a little demon. I said a little demon, that was Lucifer.
Allie.
That was straight up Lucifer. That was straight up
I
Lucifer.
feel like you're being
I
a little
said
extreme now. Just a little bit.
okay, so he not Lucifer.
No,
Well, he
no,
the
I think
third in charge then.
I really I hate that we about to go to this place, but I kind of need to go there, I think. I don't know you. I don't know, friends.
Okay.
Like I am I trying to get over him? I don't know. But would we prefer the crazy of a Damon or the trifling of a Lewis?
Neither. I can't.
You gotta pick, Allie. It's either or. You don't get to say neither.
okay, what about this?
Oh,
What if we take side hoe baby off the table and take the kidnapping off the table and look
No.
at them
Oh,
without
okay.
those two things? And then we can say,
It's
without
a
those two
wrap.
things,
It's a wrap. If the kidnapping is off the
it's
table, it's a wrap for
Damon.
me.
I mean, yeah, it's Damon, obviously, because
okay.
it's not years of building up this manipulative universe that you live in that's got the good sis Jax feeling like she's spinning out and can't get her footing. I mean, she's still showing up at work, but even for Corey to be like, "Yo, are you all right?" Because you're not this, and you see her go extra, extra above and beyond. I think that's years and years and years of putting up with Lewis. But if you take being kidnapped off the table, like maybe Damon didn't go that far, and to make it even, you take the side hoe baby off the table. Who would you pick then?
That's a
Allie,
great
this is for you
question.
because I'm Team Damon all the way. But anyway,
I still don't think I would pick Damon, and this is my reasoning though, because when I'm looking at Damon and Lewis, and I'm thinking about if I was in that situation and I'm married, this is my husband, I'm in love with my husband. I almost kind of feel like Damon was just a very beautiful distraction. I don't
Mm,
think Jax would have ever taken him seriously. Like I honestly don't. I don't
okay, so
think
we
Damon is the
disagree
guy
there
she's
because
gonna.
I feel like she loved Damon before she
Okay,
even met Lewis. Like she fell for
that's
Damon while she was
possible.
processing his case. Like that. So I can see how you're not going that route if you think that she never really took him seriously and never really loved him. Then that would be a thing. I do believe that she actually did love him and was running from it.
I believe she did love him. Like I believe that Jax had
Robin
strong
said the
feelings
poll is
for.
Erica really trying to get. I'm gonna put that poll up.
Like I believe that Jax really had genuine feelings for Damon. But I know I've been in this, and I can just say me personally, I've been in a situation where not that I have been juggling two men at the same time, but there's been a guy where feelings definitely were genuine, and I did care about him, but this was not someone that I could see me being with in my future. Like where I'm trying to go in life, this is not going to work. It's just not. Even though how I feel for you is valid and it's real, I'm unwilling to go the long way with you. I would never choose Damon.
So
Like if I'm just trying to
so you would choose
get
Wait,
a
it,
you would
get some
choose
wait.
off.
a wait, what?
I was like, wait, no, wait. Say that one more time. I don't think I heard you. You said you would choose
No,
Damon,
she said
right,
she would
Allie?
never
I would
choose him.
not. I would not. I would never choose Damon.
That is wild,
Oh,
Not
friend.
as my man. Not as my man. Because even if you take away the kidnapping, to me, Damon still had like a that possessive trait. I have a very strong issue with men like that.
Mm,
I am not that
mm.
like being like that eventually turned. So even if he did not kidnap her, something was gonna happen and there was gonna be another part of Damon to appear. He got possessiveness to be, and I can't rock with men like that.
I'm gonna be
Y'all, hold on real quick,
momentarily
Brittany.
unserious.
1 second. Y'all shading the hell out of me because why 80% of y'all said I'm not trying to get over Damon. That's wild work. 80% said I'm not trying to get over Damon. I really be trying. I'll be very honest with y'all. Y'all is giving judgy, okay?
Oh my
No, but I want to actually. I'm about to put up another poll because I want to know who people would pick. Okay, go ahead, Brittany. What were you saying?
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to process Allie's not picking Damon because that's free oil change, engine checks, tire rotations. This man got useful skills. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be
But would
serious
you
now.
bring Damon? Would you bring Damon around your partners? Would you bring Damon around your
Oh yeah.
co-workers?
He played that position very well, though. Even when she was messing with him as a married woman, he never really showed up anywhere and showed out like talking about until it was obvious like she was gonna pick Lewis. And I find I don't know. I don't think I think if they decided to divorce, I wouldn't have picked Damon if I was deciding to stay in my marriage. But if Jax would have took our advice and truly left the first time they were separated and living in other houses, and the Hellions were with the husband, I could see her knowing how to, because also she's had years of appeasing one man's ego. Damon didn't read like, oh,
That's the
or maybe it's me.
T.
Erica, maybe
No,
you and I just have different
that's the
areas.
T though. I think that's the T, and this is why I will forever love Allie down. Like one thing that I think that Allie and I do very well is have a certain level of self-awareness and know the things that like
Yeah,
make us tick and like our triggers, and we speak to those things very real. So for her, the
right.
possessiveness is a trigger which immediately turns her off. For me, the
Yeah.
resentment, the competition, the mediocre got me twitching, got me like the request for me to play small will turn me off of every romantic relationship, will turn me off of every familial relationship. That shit makes my ass itch. So I will take a possessive man over a resentful, jealous man any day, because possessive could go either way, like Ali is saying. But it's in the case that we got to see with Damon, at least for me, it lent more into being very prideful of who you are and wanting that for himself, and never ever allowing that to become a thing of you have to be what I want you to be. Aside from the kidnapping with like I want you to want to be with me, he had no problem with letting her shine, letting her be who the hell she is. And I would choose that any day than having to fit into a fucking box for a mediocre ass nigga who probably also has weak ass dick. Mm. No shade,
I
Brian McKinney Freeman, but your character looked like he got weak ass dick.
666 men be demons anyway. They the real demons because you're 6 feet tall, you make six figures, and I forgot the other six, but yeah, 666. It reads all over him. I just think I don't know, but thank you for putting him back on the screen, Erica, because we needed to see that
Look
today.
at this.
Good
That
time.
man used to look into this girl's soul. I have never seen Lewis look at her like this ever. And even like Ellie, I think you're right. Like Damon had a possessiveness to him, and Lewis, he has that, but it's not from a pure place of admiration. Lewis's possession and like wanting to go and like, oh, I'm sorry that you can't brag on me like I brag on you. Like Lewis moves as if Jax is an extension of him, and that's the only value that she provides, and that's why she has to be contained when he feels less than as compared to whatever the hell she got going on. I don't feel like Damon looked at her as simply an extension of him. He looked at her as a goddamn supernova, and he was just lucky to get burnt a little bit and be along the fringes. And that's what I kind of need. I think I need my relationship like that. Because I got a lot with me. I got a lot going on. I think a lot. I say a lot. And I'm just not going to shut up. I'm just not going to... Oh, like, no. I can't. I cannot tuck my tail for some weak-ass man just so I can be able to say, oh, I'm married. And it's great when it's not. Ugh.
Can you imagine being in a marriage? Actually, look, let's not even go there. Because I was thinking, like, to your point, Erica, to have to come home, everybody's always like, oh, be the man's piece, make sure he's this, that, and the other, yada, yada. But can you imagine being Jax and having to come home and be Jax light or be Jax diet version? Like, you can't be, because your husband has such a fragile ego and such a fragile temperament where it's like he's looking at you as I still can't get over the fact like so many men really don't like women being successful because it does something to their own ego. And that's what Lewis does for me. Somebody, I think Itasi, is finally on the Corey train for the blue suit for the win. Because
that's what I'm saying. Because let me set the record straight. Let me set the record straight to everybody, because I know y'all hear us talking up here. Because they put me in a position where I had to choose. I would never. Alicia would not choose either of these men. Yeah, I would not choose either. But if I had to, I would pick Lewis. However, if Erica want to go ahead and add Corey to this, he the one I would choose every day, all day.
Well, I mean, quiet is kept. I think in going into that, before I actually go into that, let me drop your ratings on the poll before I end the poll. So, Lewis is winning, and y'all just love giving mediocre men the alley-oop, I guess. Sorrows, prayers.
This is a really hard choice. This is a hard choice because both of them.
Look at this man. Look at this man.
I see. I can't get caught up in looks because looks will have you looking for him in the daylight with a flashlight.
But see, he's possessive in that you don't ever have to go looking for him. He's going to be right there.
I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need to breathe. I'm gonna need you to move the hell on. Give me a moment.
Don't show up at y'all more time. Now y'all up to 70%. 70% voted for Lewis is wild work. 70%. I am actually judging y'all. Because what do you mean? Lewis is a loser. He is such a loser. But you know what? It's fine. We're all friends here. It's great. Ellie will be there.
This is the best hurricane night. This is the best hurricane night I've had. This has been fun. This has been fun. I can't watch TV. There's no internet. So I am enjoying myself on this live. Yes.
All right. So quiet is kept now. I really am starting to see the vision. I mean, I already saw the vision because they decided to put the vision as Morris Chestnut, right? But now I really see the vision now that we didn't got this little moment, because Corey quite literally is the combination of these two niggas. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Corey is the best of these two niggas. And I want Jax to experience that once she actually can like breathe for a second. I think that what you see positive about Lewis and what I might see positive about Damon, I feel like they might have merged them with Corey's character. and it's gonna be the perfect storm.
You know what, Erica?
I like
I'm with you when
that.
you're right, and you're never wrong. So I think you're on to something.
See the vision now. It took this little mashup though. It really took this little mashup and her going to this moment. Like, of course, she's going from a trauma place, but when you pull back, it's like, wait a minute. He's smooth. He care about women. He be locked in. He done already prioritized jazz. Like, he's super honed in. He threw that little girl off his penis very quickly when we first met his ass. That was very much so giving Damon. Mm-hmm. But he can also carry himself. He also makes up in the areas where these people lack. So when Lewis is this mediocre ass man who might make a little bit of money, but he clearly can't do a presentation and carry himself with any type of confidence and sense, don't worry about it. The universe got you. Corey got that. So not only does he have a certain level of prestige and money, but he has the stature to back it up, to actually match you. That's what it's giving to me, y'all. It's giving that Corey is, if you could take the best of both Lewis and Damon and then improve on their issues, that's what you get.
I agree wholeheartedly.
You know what? I'm with you when you're right, and you're never wrong, Erica. That And he had foresight to make sure she ate, so he was taking care of her physical needs without taking care of her physically. He made sure she had food, even though she decided not to eat it. He made sure all her friends knew, like, to do the right thing. He was taking more of the brunt of the work responsibility while she was obviously not herself. Think you're onto something. Also, praise
And
the
I
Lord
love.
for this chestnut. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop now because this chocolate man is just delicious. Okay, go ahead, Allie.
And to your point, Brittany, before we got to the chocolate beautiful man, I love the fact that he didn't overstep, even though he was fully aware that Jax was not her 100% self. I love that. Like, when he kept asking everything, okay, you all right? And he didn't do it to me in a way that made it annoying, but he said it just enough for her to know that he is aware without overstepping, the boundaries or whatever. So I really enjoyed that about Corey this episode, amongst other things. But I think that he has just become so in tune with her, and it's just been beautiful to watch. It's been a beautiful journey.
Yes, it has. Hey, A Noel, welcome in, boo. Tassi says, I will say that Corey is already showing he knows when to hold on to Jax where Lewis is where Lewis effing leaves. Mm-hmm. Oh, Edify Style is in here. My bad, baby. It's the Discord is on the whole thing. When I'm moving and got this different setup, y'all, I be so thrown off. Hey, boo, welcome in. Edify Style. Can you hear us?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
Refresh my
apologize for
memory.
last week.
Are you on a Lewis Hive?
Yeah, I was on.
Oh, he's breaking up.
Hold on, sorry. I'm trying. Sorry, I had YouTube in my
Oh, okay.
that was me, y'all. I apologize.
No worries, no worries. Are you Lewis Hive? I don't remember.
I want to be Lewis Hive.
You don't want to be, but you are.
No, I want to be.
Oh,
because I want Jackson Lewis to work. But this
okay, I
episode
remember
had me
now.
on a
I
roller
remember.
coaster.
Got it. Okay.
This episode had me on a roller coaster. The episode had me on a roller coaster where I was like, "F you, Lewis," and then I'm like, "Jax." That's where I'm at. I just finished the episode, but I was like, I need to really watch this. I tried to download it earlier, but yeah, overall good episode. But I'm a little bit late to the conversation, so please, where are we right now in the convo?
Oh, child, we done talked about a lot.
I know.
We had Corey basically being the best in the improvements upon what could be the mashup between Lewis and Damon. But we also did a vote, and for whatever reason, we decided, and we as in them, because I am not for this, they decided that we had to choose between Lewis and Damon, and Damon did not kidnap Jax, and Lewis did not have a little break revenge baby, that they would choose Lewis for whatever reason. That's what we were most recently talking about.
Okay. So that's where we are. After this episode, I'm leaning more toward the Corey Hive, or the Corey Comrades. I don't know if we're gonna name them Corey Commanders. I'm leaning more towards them only because of the fact that Corey showed up for Jax in every way she needed him to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard somebody talking about how he fed her, was there emotionally. Not only, I'm glad that her tribe at work was there for her, her assistant, Corey was there to support her. But if we had an issue regarding if Damon had not kidnapped her, I gotta sit with the. That's my question. What does Damon do for Jax that Lewis doesn't?
Damon does not require her to be anything other than who she is, and doesn't ask her to play down everything that she is so that he can feel like a man.
Damn. Damn it, Lewis. Damn it, Lewis. When you put it like that, Erica. Damn it, Lewis. But I don't think I don't think that Damon would be enough for her.
Elaborate.
I think that the reason why we gravitate more towards Corey is because he is on Jax's level on a multitude of different levels, not just professionally, but attractiveness wise. He gets her hustle, he gets her drive, he gets her hunger, he gets her fire, he gets her let's kill it, let's take over. That's what he gets. Lewis doesn't have that. That's one knock against him. Even though the little presentation, he's stuttering, doing a stuttering Stanley in a presentation at the house. That's what you're gonna do in front of CEOs. She's trying to pump him up and cheerlead, and he just like you so hard. I'm like, well, damn, Lewis, she's just trying to encourage you in a way, you know. But when I say I don't think Damon will be enough for her, I don't think he has the same type of drive that she would ever have, that he would have, the way that Corey does. I don't think he has the same type of fire about him the way that Corey does. I would always ask someone who's like, well, what was he when you met him? Because if he doesn't have the basic things of adulting, why even with him? That goes for both men and male and female. It doesn't really matter. So I had the same question about Damon. When she met him, he was bar fighting with knives. And there was nothing else I think we saw, even once he got out, saying, I want to do these things. I want to open up my own shop. I want to take over the shop. I don't think he will be enough for her. And even in the work.
Go ahead.
And even in the world that she navigates in, I don't know if he would also feel comfortable in that world either.
I think I'm in a place right now in even considering. Let me get Lewis's ass off of my screen. I don't like this nigga at all. Quite literally can't stand you, nigga. I'm really thinking and processing and like even posing the question about, you know, Lewis or Damon, because y'all know that I love Damon, but I get it. But I'm really thinking right now, in your statement of he wouldn't be enough for her, I am kind of like thinking like, okay, so would that actually apply to you? Because I do consider myself to like be a woman who will want a man that matches my ambition. But when I really sit down and think about it, I don't think a lack of ambition is the worst thing that a man could have. I think if I had to sacrifice any of the things, it might be ambition if the man had a strong sense of self, if the man had a deep commitment and dedication to our relationship and to our family, if the man had a passion about something, and since Damon, like, it was Jax, I feel like, yeah, he doesn't match on the career front, but she don't have the problem that comes with typical heterosexual men, i.e. the resentment, i.e. the jealousy, i.e. the performance that she has to do, and the like double life that she has to maintain to even walk alongside you in partnership. So while I don't know, I feel like the conversation gets had sometimes about, women only want men that got money and this da, 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 da. I feel like if more men understood that there are other things to bring to the table and truly commit to bringing those things to the table, a lot more women would be okay with you not being the breadwinner, would be okay with you not being overly ambitious. But it's when you are not the breadwinner, you are not overly ambitious, and you're jealous, and you're inconsistent, and you can hope, like, it's when you're doing all of those things that additionally lays all this other shit at our door, that we can't ever find rest in. You just love me down, but you're not actually, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't find rest because you've given us all these things to have to combat. So that's kind of what I'm processing. And yes, it's in the frame of, like, I already have, like, my feelings about Damon, but that comes up a lot for me because as I'm navigating dating and being a woman of a certain level of outgoingness, of ambition, of communication, and, like, some mediocre random ass nigga who is not in touch with his feelings and don't, like, know certain things, you would just never, like, I will run laps around you, so I don't even see you. But I don't see myself completely negating a man who comes with the best of what Damon has, but doesn't necessarily want to climb the capitalist ladder, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. But my question, just is, I hear what you're saying. So first off, I hear what you're saying about if that were the case, if more men were maybe more emotionally intelligent, maybe more filling in the gaps where women honestly need them to fill in on the emotional side versus the materialistic side, then it would not be that big of a deal. But I wonder, is that going to be enough for Jax? Would she be okay with Damon being, a stay-at-home father, being a kept man, or even, let's say, if she's making 250, would she be okay with him making 60? If as a mechanic, depending upon what all he's fixing, would she be?
And y'all sound off in the chat. Like, I would love to know y'all's thoughts because these are really, really great questions.
It's the question is that would she be okay because she's with a man who makes decent money, but we don't necessarily know where he falls. Like, is he? How much under is she? How much under is he than her? And I think Lewis has always been trying to match Jax's hustle, especially from a career purpose, because there she was pumping milk out, making partner.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like she's already shown that it wasn't the money because she carried them financially for the first part. We don't know exact numbers, but, like, let's say the first half of their relationship. And in this episode, we get to see the flashbacks where she literally got to play down and concede to his attitude because of the presentation, her notes about that. And, like, all of, like, he is expecting sex and she just pushed this damn baby out and she's like, we already see her basically adopt what is expected of women in circumstances that she's in while still pursuing all of her career pursuits and still looking at him with love in her eyes and, like, he is it for me. So it wasn't the gaming and the prestige or whatever that comes from him acquiring a certain level within his career for Lewis. Like, I don't know if I could say that it wouldn't be enough for her, especially because we get in this episode the therapist identifying that she doesn't believe in unconditional love because she's never experienced it. I truly believe now, moving forward, if a man could give her that, she would be good.
I was gonna say I agree, Erica. I don't think enough has been put in the show to suggest that Lewis has this big, heavy hitting, like, oh, I'm such a big shot in my career. On the flip of that, it's almost like you see him dealing with the fact that he can't reach a certain level that he wants to in his career. And he flips that attention instead of being upset with himself or doing something different. He flips that and blames her because, oh, you don't see my career as important. So you call me to go pick up the kids, or you call me to, I'm taking care of the house and this, that, and the other. And I feel like for him, in this instance, we are seeing Jax deal with a man that supposedly is doing all the stuff to help and balance around the house while she's really in a higher level or a higher level of her career. And we see how that's playing out for her. If anything, this is like a clinic and being careful with asking for certain things and really not asking for the thing you really want. So like to your point, Erica, with her wanting or needing to feel unconditional love, Lewis saying I love you because that's what I exist to do. No, sir. You don't get to pull that card after we've sat in therapy and talked about these things, because very much that has not been the case since we've been together. You have put conditions on when you're going to be kind to me, when you're going to treat me like I am the woman you chose versus a woman you're in competition with. And I think we saw a very different side of Jax with Damon. Not to say Damon ain't crazy. I'm not going to be that person, I promise. We know y'all think he's crazy. But we saw a different side of Jax when he was literally like, let me just love on you a little bit. Sure, there was something else going on, and maybe there were conditions we didn't really get to dig into because season one was very much season one. We didn't know what was going on. But I think we've seen Jax be able to really, or we've seen Jax really like just want a partnership where she can feel safe in the partnership. And we've seen the results of having a man play to the public perception of what a good husband and a good father will be and not actually be that for her. And yet still everybody's caping for this man like he is the answer to, like Jax, you got to let man on your level. I don't think Lewis is on her level emotionally. I don't think Lewis is on her level where they need to be in partnership. So whether you're a mechanic or you're a chef or you are Corey Cash, find self in a blue suit, you have to match that need in a way. And I think she would be able to work with any man that could do that, because we've seen her put her marriage on the line for Damon. So obviously Damon was doing something right when she decided, you know what? I'm in the middle of a case. I know this is wrong, but I'm still going to entertain it because there was something there she was not getting from her husband. And I think
And I would argue that even this season reaffirmed it, because she was waiting for the other shoe to drop and couldn't fathom how happy she was being when Lewis was playing Mr. Mom and supporting her, and like they were actually having conversation, like him doing the dutiful dad role, but then doing it under the guy and not having the resentment that he was building in season one, and like coming into it and like, okay, Jax needs space and da 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 da. So, and we're in therapy, so like let me do it this way. That was literally all she needed, and you couldn't even consistently give her that. So I feel like that just is reaffirmed in that moment.
I just want to throw the whole Lewis away again. See, I was thinking about Corey, and we had Michael Ealy on the screen, and now I'm back to mad. I want to run him over.
But I'm gonna give y'all this moment with Jackson Damon just for one more second, because they know what they doing with the visuals they selected. They know what they doing, y'all. And
of course they did.
And y'all not gonna play in my face like something is wrong with me when they selected this visual. Like,
okay. This visual here for me, I don't think it was the way I took it. I forgot who verbiage it was. Like maybe it was Jackson or Jax or Lewis, but the tit for tat type of situation. That's what. Even if I believe that Jax did have genuine feelings for Damon, I just don't believe that Jax would have ever been serious enough about him to make him her man. Because it was almost, to me, showing her being involved with Damon was like a reaction to what was happening in her marriage. Yes, she enjoyed it. Yes, she may have been getting something that she was missing with Lewis. But I don't know. I have to go back and watch season 1. I just don't think Jax would have ever been with Damon.
We're gonna do it together, Frank.
I
Because I'm
don't.
going back and rewatch it too now. They didn't
Yeah,
give
I gotta
me
rewatch it.
flashbacks in 3 episodes now. They've tempted me, and now I'm
Yeah, I
going.
mean,
I'm going
he was
back.
blowing her back out. You know what I'm saying? He was blowing her back out. But you know, it's like other than that, I'm like, okay. Y'all
Not
cute or whatever.
okay, Allie. Not okay. Meanwhile, Doofy Head
Yes,
is over there throwing
okay,
tantrums and throwing dish rags and
yes.
shit, acting a monkey fool
I
when
don't-
he need to bide
and
his
I don't like
time.
Lewis. Just making it clear, I don't like Lewis, but I don't think Damon would have been her choice either. Now this Corey Cash,
Yes.
that's a whole nother situation.
Child, this one, I don't think that Jax is ready for this. She couldn't handle it.
She
And I'm
wasn't.
so proud of her. I'm proud of her for
No.
running up out of
Me
there.
too.
Tuck tail and run, honey. Yes. Because we not
I
ready.
won't-
We not ready.
See, if you look closely, the crest of the neck is a dangerous area. Anything that happens in the crest of the neck,
Woo.
it's an immediate things will escalate. And she had that asymmetrical shoulder. It was ready.
That
It
shoulder was
there.
ready. I saw
The
that shirt. I
pheromones were
said,
pheromoning.
Sis
ma'am.
had to because she already folded. She was like, "You haven't even truly touched me yet, and I'm folded. I gotta go because if I'm gonna be, she's gonna be spread across that table and all exposed at work." She said, "I gotta go because you just whispering in my ear, and I have melted into this floor, as did most of America and half of Spain." Like I think Corey Cash, Morris Chestnut, all the things should be illegal in at least 8 states because why?
At least.
Why?
At least.
I'm over here
But
looking like, I'm like, that's how you got Mia, Lance? This how you got Mia? This how you did it, Lance?
Y'all, why is the index
how you
and the
did it,
middle
Lance?
finger holding on to her like this? It's not even a full grip. I said, man.
And she was stumbling to leave. She couldn't walk straight, and they had all their clothes on. I said, "Yeah, no, sis girl is in trouble."
In the middle,
You know,
right here. He won right here, y'all. He won in this. What do you mean?
now maybe I'm a foodie, but he won at Chinese food for me. I was like, "You got
Facts.
egg rolls and fried rice in the big box too, not the
You
little
didn't
box,
even
but the
have
big
to.
one."
You didn't even. Oh, are you hungry? It don't even matter. I got you. Whew.
The cherry on top would have been if it was like a favorite Chinese place. He was like, "Oh, you heard this is your favorite?" I would have been like, "Oh, see, he playing games. He going for the heartstrings. Because you found out my favorite food place and got it for me while I'm hungry."
Who's to say he didn't already know Chinese was her favorite because of their little thing in the past? And he figured, you know what? My dreams are playing with me too much. Let me see if it's something here with you too, or if I'm in this alone. Let me tap dance just a little bit to see how far I can take it. I think we are all in. I don't know how many episodes are left,
3.
but Corey Cash, hear me when I say these things. Don't let Lewis take your woman. I don't care if she's married to that man. She's not. That's paperwork. She can get that handled in her office. Don't let Lewis weasel his way back in with his fake crying and his fake apology and his fake "I love you unconditionally. I live for this." You don't. Shut up, sit down, because we got Chinese food and a situation to finish. They need to finish. They need to at least, after therapy, though. After therapy, after she settles herself and be done with the divorce, then carry on.
Oh my word. I'm Erica Vane and I support that message.
Here for it. With everything that
Wow. Corey Cash, do not let Lewis steal your woman. Message.
Oh.
Hey, Lawrence.
Did it. Did I come in at the right time?
I don't
You came at a
know.
great time.
We over here talking about it's just a little bit of paperwork. We can go ahead and get that handled real quick. Mr. Corey Cash, because your woman is waiting, and don't let Lewis take your woman.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, can I say my part right quick then?
Yes, go for it.
Oh man, oh man, that guy Lewis, man. Wow. I was just wow. I it's bad. It's bad. Like it's bad. And on top of that, bro was like, "Well, she told me she couldn't get pregnant." I was like, "Bro, are you serious right now?" Like
Every damn excuse he had was stupid as hell. She
yeah,
told me she couldn't get pregnant.
I'm like, "You really?" I mean,
Don't force what?
right. Yeah, I mean, this is bad, and I felt real bad for Jax too. That one scene where she was sliding down the wall, I was like, man, this is really rough. Like, to have to go through a breakup, baby, like that is absolutely insane. But also, it made me realize, how many women are unfortunately in relationships with men like Lewis every single day, and it also made me realize, how many women have to unfortunately put on that mask. Like somebody said earlier, when I was listening, I was watching the Cowboys game, so I didn't want to come on at the time. But somebody said earlier that she had to put on that mask. Whenever she was talking about whenever she was having dinner with her children. I just just like wow. I just think men just have to be like more sexually disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, and we as men, we definitely have to take responsibility. And I also want other men also to start holding other men, accountable for the reactions, that the reactions and consequences that we end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thoughts. But yeah, Corey and also Corey Cash. Corey Cash is making moves, man. He is making moves, but I also love the musical selection
It
on
was
this episode.
A1 this episode.
Yeah.
I
The
was like,
music,
oh my word.
yeah. The music was awesome. This was absolutely the best episode I've seen of this season of Reasonable Doubt. I'm about to go back and watch it again. I'm pretty sure some nuggets I might have missed in there, but great episode. Great episode. I'm wondering how in the world Jax is gonna break the news to her kids at the same time. So that
She
probably be
better
like,
not. She
oh,
better
you saying?
not. Mr. Mom, great old dad, you sit your beady headed ass kids down and tell them that you went and had a break baby.
Not
They
beating
saying
him.
Yeah,
Facts. Let him do it.
yeah, and I'm sick, and I think it was Brittany Joy who said it earlier when I was listening. I am sick of Lewis and that wrap around his hand. I'm so annoyed looking at that every single week. I don't know. I think somebody said it might have happened
in
off
real life.
screen
Yeah.
or whatever the case was. I'm like, oh my God, I'm ready to get over that. I want to get his hair trimmed up a little bit. If you can wear a box fade,
My
I just need to
God.
be trimmed a little
Fix
bit.
it,
You know what
Jesus.
I'm saying? A great
No, he need
actor.
to he need
Love.
to look like the loser that he is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing of this part got me. The therapist. It sounded like the therapist wanted them to stay together no
Mm-hmm.
matter no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like despite the infidelity, it seemed like the therapist guy wanted them to stay together. I don't know what you thought about that.
I think so. And I'm not necessarily mad at that. I think Brittany might have been mad at the therapist, but I'm not necessarily mad at it because in the moments like this, that's going to help you have the most well-rounded conversations and make the most thorough decision based off of considering all of the options, especially if you are staunchly like, I can't get over this, yada yada yada, and this person is coming with all of those other reasons. What I appreciate is that he did not allow Jax to take any kind of blame or anything, and he held Lewis's ass to the fire and like clocked him on basically trying to pass off ownership and like only claim only claim that the marriage is actually happening because of him, and not actually seeing Jax in her fullness. But then when he was in the moment with her, of like going to a part that was actually going to speak to the growth that she needed as a person, not just specifically within this relationship. So I wasn't necessarily mad at the therapist taking a position of like, y'all can actually make this happen.
Gotcha. And I think the sex club scene joint, that was pretty wild. It kind of just showed me how what's I'm looking for, like the dynamics of their relationship when it comes to like, you know, the what's what I'm looking for, like the sexual aspect of it. Because it's like I don't know how long they was married before that kind of thing happens. I would think typically if you're in a marriage and something like that happens, I would think maybe year 5 you try to spice it up if that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? But that was pretty wild. So it made me think about, oh, so that's why he always enjoyed watching her, because he was doing it
Like
when they
the
was at the
loser
club.
he is.
I'm like, what man? Like, listen. There's no way me as a man going to go to a club and let another. I mean, I guess Lewis is like that. I guess it is what it is, but it just couldn't be for me.
Brittany,
But
was
yeah,
you about to
that's
say
my.
something about a therapist?
I had to look back at what I was actually mad about. There was a scene where she had expressed something about like not knowing if she wants to keep the marriage or the vows or whatever, and he was like, people make vows, and for better and for worse. And he was like, and I'm not writing away, like physical abuse and everything else. And in that moment I felt like he was undermining the fact that this is very emotionally abusive, the way that they are manipulating her, not the therapist, but the way that Lawrence is manipulating her, and the way that he's using certain things against her.
Come on, Lawrence. It's
who
Lewis.
she
But
is.
listen here. Listen
Lawrence,
here. If the damn loser shoe fits, if the loser shoe fits, let's wear that hoe.
Lawrence, you are my friend. Hi, friend. But
I
I'm
appreciate it. What's up, Brittany? What's going
Oh
on?
wait, I wasn't even thinking about Lawrence in the chat. I was thinking about Lawrence from Insecure season 1. It's the same
too.
archetype.
I was like,
Okay.
it's the same man.
Same
And then I was like,
archetype.
oh my God, there is a Lawrence in this call. I'm sorry, friend, but
You
I didn't
good?
even
You
think
good?
about you, Lawrence. See, you already up above these bums. Here,
I
you
exactly.
wasn't even
appreciate it. I
a thought.
appreciate it.
No, but yes, the fact that they can not see how that can be almost more damaging than physical abuse, because you can wear the physical abuse on your body, and that's not diminishing what physical abuse is. But he was like, yeah, and I don't. However, he said it, something like, I don't advocate for
Condone, yeah.
people hurting people or whatnot. And I'm like, but this is why they're here. Because he's not putting his hands on her, but he is choking the life out of this woman by trying to put her in the cage that suits him, to put her in the position that suits his ego, that assuages his need for whatever he didn't get to validate or verify or whatever the case. I don't even care anymore. Throw the whole man away. But that's
Period.
what was my beef there, because I was just like, yo, like, that might be too why they say Black women, you got to really be careful with who your therapist is, because there's a certain level of being a Black woman that you would think a therapist of color would actually also still have the wherewithal to be like, let me not add another trigger to what you might be experiencing while you're in this process with me, because I have you in this very open and very vulnerable space. But I was just like, see, go find we had beef with the little white lady, but go find a woman to process your individual stuff and let him be your group counselor. Like, I think there was something there that just rubbed me the wrong way. And it could very well be me projecting, because I would have been triggered if you would have told me, oh, emotional abuse or the mental mind games that he's playing is not as hurtful as if he were to put his hands on me. Because I'd have tried to kill him if he put his hands on me, but I can't justify like trying to kill him
Right.
because he's playing these mind games that I can't like get other people to see. I can just feel it. I know it in my body. And I'm with you, Erica, too. Now, like, when my intuition's like, run, I'm not going to question it no more, because every single one of these people have shown different sides of things that do trigger certain responses based on historical approach. That's not to say that nobody that people don't deserve grace, but your grace can be walking on down the street and finding somewhere to take your hellion children with you and be at peace over there, and we can come together for holidays or whatever. But that's it in a nutshell. That was my beef with the therapist. Okay.
I understand that. I totally get that, actually.
Got it. Yeah. So, man, how do you think the next episode gonna play out? Like, as far as like Jax and Corey, I mean, I know it's gonna be awkward the next day
I need
at
her
the
to not
office.
take Lewis's ass back. I tell you that.
You know, I get a funny feeling. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. I really hate to say this. I got a funny feeling she is going to take him back
She
somewhere around.
is. Hate it for
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
I have a
Man,
feeling
we had to
Jax is
sit through
also
this
pregnant.
dinner where you had to smile, joke, and kiki with your kids while
Mm.
goofy ass gets to sit there and play Mr. Mom, and he's great. That is great. And then he come over getting to saying his Martin Luther King speeches.
Girl. I also have this sad feeling that Jax is also pregnant, which is why this outside pregnancy is hitting her so
When
hard.
she was throwing up, I said, God, not the damn ghetto twins, not the project twins. God damn it.
Hey,
I felt the
if they hit
same
us with a
way.
if they hit us with a cliffhanger of Jax, hypothetically being pregnant, that's gonna be wild. That, I mean, just
That is going to
hypothetically, but
send me. I am not going to be okay. Y'all are going to have to send help. I am not going to be okay if she has to go through Project Twins. I am not going to be okay.
yeah.
Yo, so I thought she was just saying I'm sick because, wow. I hope she ain't got ghetto twins. No, I don't want Jack to be
She
pregnant.
told me that she couldn't get pregnant. The hoe told you she couldn't get pregnant. The passed around PTA hoe.
Honey? That's what they called a honey?
When I
Honey.
tell you,
They called
Lewis
her
will
honey.
never know peace.
Also, the acting in that scene when Sis Girl read her on the stand.
Oh,
Yes.
let's go there. Let's go there. Well, wait, before we go there, because I do want to highlight a couple scenes, and that's one of them. Can we please, real quick, just go swing past, just real quick, y'all, swing past the restaurant and gather Sally's ass, because I'm sick of her. Before we go to Honey on the damn stand, I need to go by this goddamn restaurant real quick. So we gonna go there.
The audacity on all levels of high with
I want to take
Sally.
her wig off. I want to snatch it off and throw it across the restaurant.
This hoe, ooh. When I tell you Sally wouldn't know a friend of me ever again, Chanel is lucky in and of herself that I'm even still here. But Sally hoe ass, oh, okay, girl, you got it. Sorry, y'all, I'm looking for the scene. Go ahead.
Put that aside so my cousin doesn't lose this case. Girl, how about you not kill the man so we wouldn't have been here to start with? I still say Sally did it. Sally is the one.
I'm riding with Sally too.
Sally is the one.
I'm riding with Sally.
What you mean riding with
My thing
Sally?
is,
No, what
No,
I'm
we
saying,
ain't riding
I
with
think
Sally.
Sally's a person who
Oh.
hit JT.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
my thing is, you still mad at your husband because he mad at you because you put the house up for her bail behind his back. And he didn't want to lay with you in the bed that y'all used to share. But you mad at him. You side-eyeing him. Make that make sense for me, Sally.
Make it make sense, cause it don't, ho. The way
'cause
that
I might
Sally's
put your-
ass is right behind Lewis for me, and the y'all will never know peace Olympics, yeah. Because what the hell do you mean? I found it. Boom.
Because the way I might have packed this stuff up and put it out on the porch, you can go wherever we can go wherever. Not here.
The idea is she's like, y'all need to hurry up and wrap this up so she could be free. But now you just afraid that they're going to keep uncovering stuff. And next thing you know, you're going to be on the stand. And you're not going to have to worry about your house because you won't be able to vote in November. They're going to lock you up and everybody can end it.
Take her
I'm
ass
over
away.
Simone.
Take her away.
Over her. But I still say Sally did it. She did.
In this moment, oh, he better not cost my cousin the case. He about to cost Jax her whole marriage, honey. But that don't matter. Jax's feelings don't matter. Like, just sat so perplexed. Like, this hoe actually had the audacity. And this is now the second time that you done turned up in a dinner space because you ran your little goofy ass out the last time. Getting all extra sensitive. Somebody next time need to tell Sally where to go and how to get there, because who the hell are you even talking to? Last time I checked, I wasn't your husband. You could do that shit at home while you out here putting up houses and for people who flee. And as a part of a criminal situation that you had some parts in. Lewis, Sally, they all must go. I'm creating a whole damn list and you just gotta go.
Can y'all refresh my memory? Do we actually see Sally at any of the court proceedings?
I think she may be in the first day.
That's the questions
In
that
the
need
back.
to be asked, Allie. Because you sitting up here with your
Okay.
goddamn cocktail every 2 seconds throwing attitude. But is you in the goddamn courtroom?
I think she's there. I can't be for
I
certain.
ain't synced her.
I can't be for certain. And she may be staying away for her own personal reasons.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a ride or die for your cousin, I definitely need you in that courtroom. You know what I'm saying?
Cuckoo! Ride or die.
Coming home, kicking.
If
Lewis is
Sally,
definitely
in
a
fact,
loser.
you know,
Sorry, go ahead, Allie.
I'm just saying, if Sally in fact did this, I'm gonna have so much heat for this woman because you have allowed Jack to take on this case. We could have dealt with this in episode 1.
This whole damn season could have been
I'm
of
gonna
how to
ride
get away
this
with
woman.
it. This could have been a season of how to
Yes.
get away with murder, but we're trying to prove her innocent because your ass want to lie and kick attitude every 2 seconds. Allie, please.
Okay.
And then got the nerve to take your ass home to your husband who was rightfully pissed with you and kick attitude his way. Mind you, Lewis deserves every bit of smoke that anybody can conjure up for him, but also you and Lewis are basically the same damn person, so you need to shut up. How about that? Okay.
And homeboy got on my nerves with that, even though that is my jam. I said, no, he is not playing BMX in Cisco. No, he not.
Okay,
No, he
so
not.
he threw me though, Ellie, because he started playing it, but then he asked the questions that needed to be asked. Like, I felt like he did that as the opening for like Lewis to like let his guard down, but then he was like, well then, but why also didn't you just tell her the truth?
I mean,
I get
do
it. I didn't want to get
smooth
no
it
problem,
out.
but yes, it was befitting. It was befitting, but still.
And when you're dealing with a little insecure loser like Lewis, sometimes you need a little intro. He need to believe that somebody's on his side.
Also, the audacity to call Jax a bitch. Like, sir, stop immediately. Don't do that, Lewis. I got 3 uppercuts on layaway for you. Please watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth with your bum ass. Please. Lewis is ridiculous. Damn joke that stopped being funny last season. Okay, now we can go to the stand with Honey.
Okay, first of all, because on Honey, the way I saw Jax with the black and the blue, I said, "Oh, she came to make somebody black and blue today on the stand." He came to make somebody bruised and bloody on the stand in the 3-inch Kate shoes.
Come on.
I said, "Oh, she came for war." She came in. I said, "Oh, she came for war because she snatched." Everything was laid in place, and she said, "Oh, I'm gonna eviscerate Honey on the stand for messing with my husband and other people's husbands and everyone else's husband she didn't mess with besides the 2 that we know of." And I said, "Okay." And also, has anyone else noticed how the prosecutor lady got a little glow up?
I said, girl, who the hell are you trying to attract? Because what the hell is this, Bobbiana?
Facts. Facts.
What? You are not Jax. Relax. Take your ass back to the Shovelville. No, but you clocked it absolutely
we wearing
correct.
necklaces of pearls.
I was so unsure of if Jax was going to be able to do this cross-examination. I was so scared for her. But then once she, once it went off without a hitch, she clocked every bit of Lil Honey's tea and did what needed to be done to set her ass back down. I was proud of her, but then also it just built upon my angst and like kind of like grief or grieving with her, because she shouldn't have to do this. She shouldn't have to find a way to surmount the pain and the betrayal and still be amazing at her damn job, all because her mediocre ass husband is steadily being mediocre. And I'm being nice by calling his ass mediocre, because like Brittany said, he belongs in the damn trash. It's one thing to watch Black women like hold what they're experiencing specifically to the on the negative front, and we watched her do that a couple times in this episode. But to me, it was even more triggering to watch her persevere through it, because I know what that feels like.
Definitely another reason to punch Lewis in the face, because not only did your decisions bring issues to her personal life, but now it's bleeding into the professional life. And she can't afford to not be who she is in the courtroom. I will say it was like one of those moments to be proud, like, okay, sis did what she needed to do. She showed up. She is who we are. We didn't see it break her in that moment. But to know what that feels like internally, where you have to look down your personal issues, and if Tony decided to be the trick, we know sorry, Tony, you all right. You're not all right with me, but I shouldn't have called you a trick.
I'll
If she
call you
would
a
have said, no,
trick.
I'm sleeping with,
That's right.
if she would have been like, oh yeah, no, I'm sleeping with your husband too in the courtroom, how would that have played out?
Exactly.
And so once again, another lick for Lewis, because this is why she needs to know information. You know, your wife is not in a regular old fashioned, I don't have like your behavior doesn't have consequences on me. But yeah, Honey, I was like, Jax, you're a better woman than me, because I might have jumped across the little thing. But anywho.
Well, that would be that's called assault in the court of law.
You missed it. I already said I was going to jail for hitting a couple people.
This is why you stop pushing Black women, because then when we snap, everybody gonna be looking like, oh my God, she's am I crazy, or did you earn this?
Okay, so at the beginning of the episode, when he came in, I got to go forward. As she was crying with the mascara on, I said, sir, she's been crying through the makeup. She is dangerous right now. She don't care. She let her pores clog up, letting the mascara run down, and her skin, she said, F my skin routine tonight. I'm in tears.
And you know,
that's a dangerous woman right there.
And you know that's not cheap mascara. That's that good.
It's not.
I gotta be on camera all day. I gotta be in people's faces all day mascara. That's that $45 to $100 bottle mascara. She wasted that on you?
At Estee Lauder? At Maybelline? She said, I've been crying. So when she got to the stand, Homie was gonna catch all the heat and all the smoke. And I can't sit here. I can't sit here and be like, oh, Honey, feel bad for you. I can't.
And don't.
I can't, because I can't. You ruin I can't say a happy home, but yeah, you add to the stress of an already stressful home. We'll say it that way.
But can you fault? Okay, this is going to be me not being devil's advocate, because they don't need any more advocates. But can you fault a hoe for doing hoe things? I put the blame on her husband.
100%.
He already knew she was jumping around with his friends, and you decided, oh, you've already been through some people. I know they spoke so highly of you. I'ma jump in too, and I'ma go in raw. Like, you can't really be mad at a hoe for doing hoe stuff. You gotta be. Yeah, I mean, but if a hoe's not gonna hoe, then who is? Ooh. You gotta have more. You gotta have more discipline as the man who made the commitment to this woman to not put her in that situation. But you decided you wanted to have a whole face. Okay, y'all were separated, whatever the case may be. But consequences, you're not a child. So I'm not gonna sit up here and give her all the heat for his decisions, because she was just gonna sleep with the next person she was gonna sleep with. She didn't necessarily have to sleep with my husband. My husband decided he wanted to go sleep with you too. So,
but to be fair, I mean, as you said, as you said, Brittany, a hoe gon' hoe for show. Because even at the party, at the little freak off party that JT had, she was eyeing Lewis getting freaked off by JT and another woman at the freak off party. So she already had her eyes on him to begin with. He wasn't just like a rando. She was like, okay, just so you know, the shop is open.
And that makes him even more damn dumb, because this girl, it wasn't just happy stance that she hopped on your penis. She plotted against you, and then you listen to her dumb ass talking about I can't get pregnant. See, this is what, and then you want to be the leader of the. This is the that you want to lead, and these the brains that you got.
I'm. If you don't mind me saying this, Erica, I'm just trying to figure out what man on this planet would. I mean, he just wasn't thinking straight, and I don't know what he was on. I don't know what.
I don't know, Lawrence. I would argue that's a lot of y'all that think like this. I would argue that, honey. I would argue that half the damn NBA got problems now because they think like this.
Yeah. That's toxic poison type thinking. It almost reminds me of, y'all probably saw this last night if y'all was on social media, Cardi B and Offset.
I didn't see it. I've sort of like screenshots of her, I guess, saying that she cheated on him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I don't know the details. Apparently she got her lick back. As she should. If that's what she wanted, as you should.
Right.
But you took it back the first time. And the second time.
That doesn't negate the fact that you still made the decision to break your home. Like, a homewrecker can't wreck a home you don't open the front door to. Ooh. You open the front door.
Come on,
so no, I'm sorry.
No, you need go once.
No.
You opened the door at the window, you left a crack in the screen, wherever you did, you let that happen. Everybody says men make better decisions, quote unquote. That's why they've been in leadership for this and the other. And I'm not coming with smoke for all men. But at the end of the day, if you got this much great decision making when it comes to leadership and everything else, then lead your goddamn house and stop letting these homewreckers do what homewreckers do. They designed to trap you on purpose, and you fall for it every single time. Enough already. Because you're not gonna make me feel like
she told me she couldn't get.
Which means you chose to go off. Because even if she can't get pregnant, I know you done slept with 6 people in the neighborhood, 2 people at the church, and 3 people at the church at the school pickup line. Why am I gonna sleep with you without a condom?
Because even if she can't get pregnant, she can give your ass the clap.
Make better decisions, please.
Come on now. And you know what's so bad? I tried to justify it by saying we were high and drunk. I said, Lewis, go to hell. Because you're not going to sit up here and tell me you had unprotected sex with this woman because you were high and drunk. Sir,
now no. I want your chart. Run off. You got to get every test. Because if you could get that high and that drunk to put me at danger, I don't trust you with nothing. Also, how old are you? You were a child in the 90s. That means you went through the DARE program. Let's not play that game.
I don't even think his teenage son would fall for that.
Nah, he would.
Now, wait a minute. That one.
Nah, he would.
I don't think he would fall for that. But I knew this was going to be a special episode because we don't ever see him. We don't ever see him being nice to his mama.
Ever.
When he came in the room, he knows something is going on. She's in bed. This is not like her. And even though her face was away from him, he still knew something wasn't right. And I was like, I can't believe he even hugged her.
You ate that little wine. Really shocked. You ate that little wine, but don't get excited, little nigga. I still want to do you like Ghost did Tariq. I ain't even gonna hold you. I still want to do you like that.
Facts. That's facts. I had to give his props for this because I was like, I just didn't ever see that. But I don't even think he would fall for she told me she couldn't get pregnant. No.
I feel like and he better run those same words back to those teenage people too, because they've been coming at Jack sideways since they could speak words, and each and every one of those teenage people better have the same heat they have for their mama for this man.
Period.
Because if not, then we all got to we ride at dawn. Because no.
Period.
Put them
And
away.
yes, I fight kids.
They over
Yes.
5 feet, they don't count. It's under 5 feet that you can't fight them. But if they over 5 feet, they basically grown.
Period. The other scene I want to go to, though, y'all, is the scene in the interrogation room where Chanel shows up as a goddamn friend for once.
About time.
Yes.
How y'all feel about it?
I just want to say
I
this
love
right
it.
here. I'm just going to say, whenever Jax eventually did end up breaking down, right? And like you said, Chanel actually did finally show up for her friend, which is good, right? And Chanel reiterated that. I believe she said, what did she say? It was this one liner in particular. I think it was something like even
Oni.
strong friend.
Check on your strong friends.
Yes, yeah, check on your strong friends. And that is true. I feel like Jax has definitely been carrying the weight of the world for her friends and for her family as well. And eventually all that weight, it crumbled, and Chanel was there to be a helping hand to her friend during this time. So I appreciate Chanel finally stepping up to the plate and looking at Jax as a friend and not as an enemy. That's my thoughts.
I loved it because I personally believe this was the nature of their relationship before JT came and began to abuse Chanel, because we know that Chanel is the friend who knew that Jax was abused by her step father. And also, I believe it was last week, we were talking about Jax and Chanel's relationship. And I was saying that I know that there are some people who feel like their friends should see them, almost like, why don't you see me? Why do I have to verbalize something? You know me enough to know when I'm not being my best self. And Chanel was able to see that. Like, she know Jax well, and the representative that Jax had in that interrogation room was not who Chanel knew her friend to be. So I love the fact that she asked to speak to her alone. I was like, what is it? Like, we're in a place where you don't have to lie. You know what I'm saying? You could be vulnerable. You can be in this place that you're in. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna be there for you. So I love that moment that they had, and I hope that once all this is over, we can, really see someone be a friend to Jax, because I ain't gonna lie, the other friend, she gets on my nerves because all she does is, so what are you gonna do? So what are you gonna do? That's all she say. The friend with the little mohawk. Why are you even here? So I need Chanel to get up out this prison and come back and be a friend to Jax, because she ain't got nothing right now. But I did love that moment.
I will say this episode, like ANOL said in the chat, it definitely shocked me too, because the way Chanel's been moving this season, I was like, what are we? Jax, you need a whole new set of friends. Like, just throw the whole crew away and get some new people. And I'm still not truly, this was a beautiful moment. I think it's going to take seeing what happens with this case. If they win, if they lose, how is this going to play out before I put any stock into Chanel. But I will say I was grateful to her that somebody besides Corey, because if Jax would have hugged Corey this way, they would have been getting it on in the police precinct, and we can't have that, or in the courtroom, we can't have that. But I was dumbfounded for a second. I was like, oh, there is still a human in there. But I think this process is breaking her too. I think it's breaking into different facets of who she is, and letting her see, like, oh, my decisions play out this way, and if I want to do better, I gotta start something different.
I agree. It was a beautiful surprise, and Jax definitely needed it. Definitely deserved it. And you know what, Allie? I'm so glad that you made the points that you made, because prior to this, I wasn't sure that that Chanel had ever been a friend. But now I'm like, okay, there could have been seeds there that you had knocked out of you, unfortunately, because you decided to pick a clown. A clown?
Not seeds knocked out of you.
Chanel pissed me off. She really pissed me off this season, Ellie.
From last episode, I was like, throw her all away. When she came at Jax, what she did, just asking her, just kind of saying, I see you, who you covering for? She kind of got them bullets at
You
Jax.
hate women? Chanel lost me. Like, I was already on the fence before, but when she said you hate women, that was it. So,
because he's a good man, Savannah. I said,
girl,
throw the table, flip the table, Jax, flip the effing table.
I'm sorry. So that's
this
not nice,
episode-
Chanel. That's not nice. That man should not put his hands on you. But clearly, some things was knocked loose. And maybe you starting to find yourself once you start the little domestic violence expert spoke beautifully to your psyche and whatnot, and you disassociate. So maybe you starting to come to. So then the pieces of you will start to come back, and that's what we pray for. We hope for. We need you to get off, and we need you to find yourself, because you cannot be operating how you were operating before. And if this is the season of that, then fine. But don't let me hear you talk about she hate women again, because some of you bitches deserve to be hated.
You know, I do appreciate you, right, Erica, on many levels. I do appreciate her showing up for Jax in this moment. I wonder. I wish we would have gotten more of that throughout season 1, and it should not have to take such a dire situation for you to show up. It should not have to take, oh, I'm on trial for killing my husband, and you got to defend me. You know, it should not have to take all of that for you to really show up for, you know, the quote strong friend. And I'm even kind of wondering, like, so are y'all not checking up on Jax either? Mohawk friend?
Mohawk is definitely not. Mohawk is like, let's get these miles in, and what you gonna do? Allie got it so right. Allie said that her lines are always, what you gonna do?
That's all she says.
I think because she's a therapist.
Is that what she is?
Yeah, she thinks she's a therapist.
Well, girl, you ain't her therapist. You her friend.
Is this a SAG show? Is she not covered by the union to get paid for more words?
Her ass is distracted and kumbaya.
Well, maybe I can't.
What else? What else did we not talk about yet, y'all? I'm not even gonna hold you. I have to run to the restroom really quick. So y'all think about what we need to say, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, we found out who was stalking the prosecutor.
Child.
Baby daddy. Why he in prison?
Baby daddy.
Why he get out?
Okay. Because I'm like, that's who she was checking up on when she called to make sure he was still an inmate. And at the time, I believe he was. And I'm like, but now he's out?
But this is my question. You're a DA of a major metropolitan city. How do you not know when your psycho husband not getting out of jail? And he just surprised, hey, I want to see you at your job. You don't have a list of so school. This man's not allowed him at the place.
But is the husband the person that's in jail? That's what I'm not understanding, because I don't think the husband is, because she just called about the person that was still locked up, and he was still locked up, last week? So I don't know that they're the same people.
That's a good point. It could be somebody completely different who she been inquiring about.
That's what kind of had me aside. Plus, she didn't really seem, I don't know. Lucy with the bob is throwing me off. Maybe she got the bob to try to act like she was in a new disguise or whatever for who she might be running from, but she didn't respond to the husband like somebody that would be like absolutely terrified if he got free. So I feel like there's somebody else that she's worried about that might be connected to a case of some sort.
I mean, I can see that.
But then, I guess my only thing is, because if the person she's checking on is still locked up, who slashed her tire? Was it the baby daddy?
Who is this man?
I forgot about the slashing the tire person.
I think it was because he was standing across
So
the street.
like, what is going on?
He was standing across the street watching her.
The baby daddy who did it?
Huh?
You think it was the baby daddy who slashed her tire?
Yeah. Because we got that ominous moment where he was standing across the street watching them go in later on that night.
Okay, my question. I know that. My question is, what did she get served with? Was it paternity? Was it like what did she get served with? I didn't see the. What were they again?
I think it was custody and child support.
Oh, he gonna get her. He gonna try to get her money from her. That's low.
These men, yo. I'm sorry, but these
Black
men
and
are
white don't even
wild.
matter.
These men are wild. It's clear that you have done something to this lady. It's clear. And I feel like it's something on a physical level, which now it makes me look at you sideways, Susie, with the damn new bob. Because you up here going ham on Chanel. Meanwhile, you probably escaped by your chinny chin chin or whatever the hell this man was trying to put you through. And you can stand across or create a narrative about Chanel doing what triggers him and knowing what buttons to press. Do you know what buttons that little white ass man need to be pressed? Because you damn sure don't know how to make them go away. Are you pressing his buttons right now?
My thing is still like as methodical as she's doing this whole trial. Why would you not protect yourself at all possible levels? I need to know who's around me. I need to know at the boys' school. These people are not allowed to come near the school. I mean, as much as she seems like she's more aware of her environment, to not be aware, it's kind of like, what's going on? Is something really that traumatic?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's been so methodical this entire trial. Even you call and see if he's even been released. So I would have been like, I need to know if he's been released and all his associates as well. I don't need nobody getting next to me.
Literally.
And then we find out that there's something about her as far as her work is concerned. Because hasn't she moved around to different offices, like in a short period of time? She's moved around a lot, so her work is being questioned.
I don't remember that,
I
but I
think
don't
it
be
was like
paying
in
this
the
lady no
first or
mind.
second episode.
I
Oh,
remember
I
that,
did, because
Allie.
I was like, why? I paid attention because I'm like, why are they putting so much emphasis on this character? Because I'm like, they made the things for us to know that something, maybe she did something that was unethical. I'm really not sure, but she's like, we're not too sure about you. We're gonna give you this case, but moved around to so many places. Are you really legit? So I'm like, okay, so it's something there. Now we're dealing with, the baby daddy who done came out the woodwork. Now he's suing you for custody. I said, you bastard, when the last time you saw your son?
That wasn't on
And
the
you
other side
suing
of
her
some
for custody?
plexiglass.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I said, oh, the
She took
men.
I'm so sorry. I thought she took the case because she was trying to get a promotion.
No, the DA gave her the case because he wanted to make the optics of a female DA, going up against a female defendant. And because he's also running for re-election. So the DA wanted her specifically. I don't think she wanted it. He wanted her. But
Gotcha.
with the emphasis on her mostly, because now she has, this Republican Bob that she's sporting right now. I'm wondering if by the end of the season, it's a Republican Bob. It is.
It is.
It's the Republican Bob. I'm wondering about the end of the season if she won't be Jackson's next client.
Ooh.
Now, how the tables will turn.
That is brilliant. I
Because,
love
baby, I'm
that.
going on sabbatical. You need to get off, and I'm going on sabbatical. Bye, ho. No.
I got ghetto twins to deal with. I got time for you.
The way I will sob, y'all, if oh my God, if Jax has Project Twins, the way I will sob, I will be unconsolable.
You said if Jax has what again?
Project
Ghetto
Twins.
twins.
Oh.
I don't think
the
I
way
can
they set this
handle
up,
it. I cannot handle Project Twins. I can't.
it's gonna be okay, Erica. But the way they're setting this up, she's fearful and she's gonna react out of fear, not out of logic. She's gonna do something to either somebody gonna come to the house one night. The next something we already have slash tires. Somebody coming to her job. She's already been subpoenaed for custody and child support. I can't give you the money if you're dead.
Well, and now
I'm
that
just
teacher
saying,
coming for Chanel so hard.
She has melanin deficiency, so she'll have a little bit of grace from the system for being a victim and things.
Facts.
I think, I don't know. I really hope that Jax takes a vacation. She, after, a couple of weeks of intense independent therapy away from her trifling husband, that the paperwork goes through, she takes a vacation. Corey flies out private. They have a good time. And that's how this season ends. I don't want her to be in no more. And nobody else's drama. She probably shouldn't even took the case for her friend, because that's a lot emotionally to have the duality of your friendship and your professional life and your personal life and all your history and all the things coming together. Just needs a break. She don't need Lucy with the Bob. She needs a break. She needs a Mai Tai. She needs a Caribbean island. She needs a Corey Cash stand-in, so that she can be true with Corey Cash when it's time. And just leave everything here. Go. I liked her little natural hair too when they did her flashback. Go get your natural hair and go get on the plane and leave all these people here. Leave this trash town behind.
Ooh. A. Noel says, I can't be the only one thinking that Jax will not see that through if she is.
Valid points are made.
And Lewis is the special type of loser that will never let her live it down.
So you were saying that if she's pregnant, that she will potentially, terminate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't tell her about his pregnancy, so she probably won't say nothing anyway. He's on very thin ice. If he's standing on ice at all.
I actually kind of could see this, A. Noel. I'm not even gonna hold you. I can see
take him back.
Me too. But she won't tell him though. She'll do it in secret, and she'll have Chanel by her side when she does it.
Ooh.
Allie, you said you think she's gonna take him back?
I just don't see. I don't see Jax ending it right now.
Well, do you see her taking him back but still terminating?
Yes, I can see her. I can see her doing that. But then again, I in a way, but I feel like she would tell him, because I feel like what we have seen her journey this season is that she has truly operated in complete and utter honesty. Whether it makes her look bad or not, she has operated from that place. So even if she is, I believe that she would tell him. She would let him know what she plans to do, with the pregnancy, and he just gonna have to feel however he feels. But I just think Jax is still very much so wrapped up in Lewis, unfortunately.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, my heart hurts for her so bad.
These men be out really undoing, I swear. They just be out undoing. We can't help but love you beady-headed asses. It's just... All right. Any other thoughts before we get ready to get out of here? I have such a love-hate relationship with my obsession with black men. It's ridiculous. Like, y'all piss me off so bad. But then also, y'all are y'all. It's just, it's exhausting.
But nah, Erica, I mean, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I know of you, of course, from, All American. And of course, even though we're talking about this, I definitely appreciate, your thoughts about black men and how we do need to be, one of the things I heard you say, many times before, emotionally, intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate it. Are there some black men that make us look bad all the time? Absolutely. But yeah, but there's some good ones here and there. You know what I'm saying?
There are. And then there's a lot of y'all that's in the middle who, bless your hearts, we trying to bring you along. Bless your hearts. We are also in a very interesting time, right? Like, we're in a time where there's so much more language, there's so much more eyes on things. Like, we are evolving culturally, and I hate the idea that the gap is widening between black men and black women. but it kind of is happening. So it's also a very tough spot to be in, I think, for Black men, to have things shifting in the way they are, and women in general, but specifically Black women, continuing to push further, faster. And it could be, I could imagine it's a lot to get hit with when you initially, you benefit from the patriarchy. So you were conditioned in one way, and then now we're all deciding that no, we're not rocking with that anymore. So now you have to learn to live in this new thing. And I can imagine that's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen women over these last 5 to 10 years at least, like women dominate in all aspects when it comes to them gaining more financial access, getting education and moving up the ladder and, just taking over the world. And it is hard for a lot of men, a lot of Black men too, as well. It's definitely hard for some to um understand that. But one thing I really hate this. I just hate what I be seeing so much on social media, a lot of times on TV shows, whatever the case may be. I really hate this Black men versus Black women type thing. I can remember several years ago, there was no such thing as that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wanted, the man wanted the woman to rise, the woman wanted the man to rise, and it's just so aggravating. Seeing men, trying to be in competition with women. Like, if you're married to a woman or a Black woman, like let's rise together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we got a guy like Lewis. I think he definitely feels intimidated sometimes by Jax. You know what I'm saying?
And that is his problem, his cross to bear. Because
You
Jax,
know,
you're doing
Lawrence,
great, sweetie. You're doing great.
Lawrence, to your point about I think that women are simply asking for us to grow in different ways that
Mm-hmm.
will probably have not been asked to grow that particular way. Like Erica said, we do have more language. We do have more words to use versus just, grunting, and the only emotion we can possibly express is anger. Now I can say I'm sad, I'm processing, I'm this, that, and the third. It's just a matter of being able to express it and expressing these things in healthy manners, which I think we're now are able to, versus pastly we were not given the space to do those things versus being called out of our name or something derogatory. But to Lewis's point, that it's not on Jax's to hold the emotional weight as she moves up the ladder. You got someone who's a lawyer. You knew partner was going to eventually happen one day. Who wants to be a mediocre lawyer? No one, especially not a Black woman. Usually, they want to excel. Also, probably the pressures of having to deal with being, Black girl magic. So they had that pressure, but Jax wants to excel, and it's Lewis's issue to deal with it or not deal with it, and he decided to deal with it because he married her.
To your point, Lawrence, and to your point, Erica, I think we're in a very interesting time too, because the generations before us didn't actually model or teach what it means to truly stand in your manhood and it not be attached to provision or protection or whatever the case may be. Like the emotional and the relational intelligence necessary to be a partner now, where the woman's not 100% fully dependent on you for the things that your parents were dependent on each other for, your grandparents were dependent on each other for. It's hard to be that when you don't have a true model. And I agree, Lawrence, I'm sick of seeing the downfall and the degradation on TV. I think that's what Reasonable Doubt does a good job of. It's not like outwardly or covert or overt, whatever one it is. It's not like overly in your face. Oh, this woman is being degraded, or I can't speak words anymore, but she's not being turned down like in a way that we see consistently. But this is putting a different light on how this behavior is still dangerous, and how when you
It takes
think
a
you're doing
toll.
good enough, right? You think you're doing good enough, but it's showing like where the cracks in that foundation even is. So we need to start as a community putting in pieces and things to like counteract this narrative that we can't be partnered or we can't build and grow because of attitudes or whatever the case may be. And I think moving ahead, because I struggle, somebody was like, "Are you sure you like men?" I was like, "I love them. That's the only reason why I can hold like such criticism for things. Because if I didn't like you, I would not be bothered. I wouldn't
No
care."
attention,
And
no
I,
interest, no nothing. I would not be having a conversation. Same.
and so I think being able to call people in is not about trying to like tear down who you are or where you are, what you have the capacity for. And I think that's why I love this show so much. The other shows sometimes I just be like, all right, y'all doing the most. But this show is masterful at opening up the floor for these types of conversations because it is more nuanced and it's more to I'm the woman, you're the man, or I'm the this and you're the that, or I'm the husband and you're the wife, or I'm the father and you're the like. There's so much more to the experience. But I really need them to start showing like some black joy of some kind at some point. Somebody needs some joy in this show, and it should be in a blue suit with a
Ooh.
red tie.
I think that's why I love this show so much as well, because I know a lot of the conversation, especially that we see on social media, is because, they discuss that women are the breadwinners. And then you have a character like Jax, who definitely makes a lot of money, but you also have a character like Lewis, who makes six figures. So it's not the fact that he is, losing in the financial department, but then there's also things about his character that are toxic. And even though he's not aggressively showing those things, it's still an issue. And like I don't really be on Twitter. I just got back on Twitter today, and I was looking at some of the comments about the Lewis character, and there are so
Mm-hmm.
many women who was bigging him up or said they cried when he said his little monologue to Jax
Yes.
at the end. And for me, I've always had an issue, even with women, with black women who, or just people in general, where you're not as dominant in your personality, but you still have a very shitty personality, and you do things to people, but it's hidden behind a smile, or the fact that you're passive, or the fact that you didn't yell, but you're still a very toxic individual. And when I look at the character of Lewis, it's not that he doesn't have some good qualities about himself, but he is a toxic person. And I know people that I've met in life, when you begin to agitate or irritate or push them to grow, you're met with a lot of resistance because you're not doing it in a way that makes them feel comfortable, or that tickles their fancy. And we're seeing that a lot with this character, Lewis. You're trying to present something to Jax. She's letting you know that it's not coming off that you're confident, and you want her to be softer. You don't want her to be as hard, even though she said things to make you better. So I believe like combating that and really creating a conversation and a dialogue between the people that we may know in our personal lives. I think that's where it starts, because social media is a very toxic place, especially when you're dealing with relationships. But this particular show is so great because you can think that you have a great partner, but when you begin to really break it down, you realize that you really don't.
Hey, Erica,
Ain't
can I say
Noel
something
said
right?
cried.
Yeah, I can I say something
Girl,
right quick if you don't mind, Erica?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so like Ali was saying, I was looking through the reasonable doubt hashtag on Twitter as well, and I was surprised. Like when I saw the episode, I was like, okay, I know a lot of women going to be against Lewis, and rightfully so, right? But when I looked at the hashtag, I saw so many sisters, so many black women literally saying, "Oh my God, that monologue was beautiful. I would have definitely took him back." And I was surprised, you know what I'm saying? I was definitely surprised because I was like, ain't nobody riding with Lewis, you know what I'm saying? But I was shocked when I saw that so many sisters were saying that monologue got to me.
You know what? I didn't see it myself, but I am not shocked because we also got people bigging up Jazz at the end of season 2 of Bel Air. And he said a bunch of bullshit as well. The moment that a man can start to string together a couple words and kind of sound a little bit sentimental, it don't even matter what's the substance in those damn words. It just matters that he's speaking, because most of the men ain't going to speak. So now all of a sudden, he's Jesus. No. Did we actually listen to what the hell he's saying? Because he's lying. You do not live to love me. You live to stroke your own goddamn ego, which is why we're in the position that we're in. That's why we have been estranged. It's why you can't possibly fathom that I can love my job as well as love my goddamn family and create a full and fulfilling life for myself if I'm not bowing down to you and the whims of what the hell you want and how the hell you actually see our family to be. You cannot possibly live to love me. And you damn sure can't possibly live to love me and want to actually excel at that. It's one thing to show up to a job, clock in, and just say I'm here. Ain't nobody handing out no attendance awards anymore. No, there's no more participation awards. You either come in and you do something that is notable, or you just come in and you fade to black. And you've been fading to black in this goddamn marriage, but you want to be bigged up like you're doing something big and powerful and moving, and your ass is not. You live to love her, but you have yet to take any of the damn years within the 15 to 20 years that y'all have been together and audit it how you love her and if it's actually the way that she needs to be loved. But you want me to believe that you live to love this girl? Nigga, please.
Erica, child. The best part of that whole scene was Luther in the background. That's all.
Period.
That's the only man. That's the only
Period.
man at that point in the scene that deserved any attention. Was Luther in the background saying a chair is not a chair.
And
A
I
stairs
am
is
not
a-
surprised. I am not surprised that the hoes on Twitter are like losing their mind behind the in honestly, that is the most demoralizing part of it for me, is knowing that I exist in a world of women that are going to accept that as if that is the holy grail and they deserve so much more. Lewis is not even what should be your floor.
There's a lot of people that will take a piece of a man over no man, and that's what we're seeing. You'll take a piece of a man, you'll take some aspect of what you're hoping for instead of really asking for or standing back and saying, let me really figure out what I want before I just start accepting stuff.
Nasty work. We hate that for y'all, but y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. It won't. What did Ayala say? Not on my watch. None of you little beady headed Negroes better bring that this way.
I will always say the soundtrack of this season is like another character, and it is masterfully placed in the right places. Is this soundtrack on Spotify or something? Because
I think it is. They just announced. I saw
it is
something on Instagram.
beautiful.
Lewis's
I go from
monologue
turn
did
up
something
to
for you.
my
This
feelings.
man was rambling his damn life away. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ain't a bunch of nothing.
No,
I
I'm
think
just
I saw
saying,
something. I was gonna say, I think I saw something on Twitter the other day. I think on one of the Reasonable Doubt pages or Honest Collective, one or two, where they were showcasing the guys who basically pick out a soundtrack. So if you want to check them out, I think it's up there somewhere.
all right, I'm gonna have to check it out. But I'll go from being turned up to like in my feelings to like, whoo, that here like the way they place the music to every single scene. And I said, listen, old school Luther will have you in your feelings. You sitting there, want to smoke something with a glass of wine, just waiting. Ain't nobody coming in the door. You like, I'm not Jax. Ain't nobody coming in here to tell me they got a baby. But you feel what she feels when the song hits.
Baby, when I tell you I have never felt Jax more than I did in this episode, and I thought I understood and connected with sis before. Whew. We are weary with you, sis.
I also, Erica, just want to thank you for having this space to discuss this show because thank you.
No problem.
Yes, thank you, Erica. I love it here. I love it here.
Yes, I love that. All right, did everybody get their last thoughts off? Because I'm about to get ready to sign out. I got to work on some other content because your girl is behind and she traveling.
Okay, I got one more thing, and I'm gonna shut it up to this. A friend of mine were talking about the replacements for next season, who the male lead could possibly be. Since we going dark skin, we going light skin, dark skin, light skin. And
well, I feel that we might not be done with Corey though. I don't know if we done with Corey by the end of the season, y'all. I think this is the warm up.
This is the warm up.
But go ahead. What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
So we were going through the list. And we said possible light skin the next season could either be, I know we said Boris or possibly Stephen Bishop. Those were the two we had.
Who's Stephen Bishop again? Refresh my memory.
He was in Being Mary Jane. He was David in Being Mary Jane.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I love our dialogue about this, y'all, but I don't know if we done with Corey. I don't know if we done with this. Ooh.
Corey's not done with Corey. Corey said, I haven't gotten what I came here for, so y'all do what you like, but I'm not leaving. And we already have the campaign has started. I'll have t-shirts next week. We'll have flyers to put in mailboxes. Corey's not letting Lewis take his woman.
Period.
And we need to find out this backstory between Jax and Cash, because something is there.
100%. 100%. Thank y'all so much for this amazing unpacking yet again, this dope conversation. I really appreciate it. Allie, hopefully your internet comes back on and everybody stays safe who happens to be in the path of Helena's old hoe ass. We see you, Helena.
Girl.
Not too much. Thank y'all again. And Allie, did you have something that you wanted to say before we left?
Oh no.
Okay.
I enjoyed myself like always.
I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, y'all. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I thank everybody for joining me also in the chat and dropping your thoughts. Atasi, A Noel, Aaron M, C Walk. Oh, I think that was Edify. I appreciate all of y'all. Robin, thank you so much for popping in and making this conversation so well-rounded, so diverse, popping in y'all's questions, y'all's thoughts, shading me because Erica actually is on the road to recovery for Damon, but y'all ain't trying to give me credit or whatever for that. But it's fine, because once I get to the end, I'm gonna be like, see, y'all didn't believe in me, but I made it. We made it. Mama, we made it. Okay. I do have my breakdown, which will be up a little bit later because I already recorded it. So be on the lookout for that. You can feel free to drop any of your thoughts on that. And y'all, I'm going to go ahead and warn you, that was my initial response to the episode. And I was hollering through all of it. I'm not even going to hold you. I was definitely hollering, but that is coming. So look out for that. I also am going to be breaking down House of Vicious. I'm going to be breaking down From. So those are some new things that are coming to the channel. Be on the lookout for that. I thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you in the next one. Shout out to Corey Cash. Yeah.